Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Spiker Christensen. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. I can't do it, Tom Cruise. I'm sorry. I try. I keep making my wife laugh. She thinks it's hilarious. Like, if it's not good. But I'm trying to do it.
No one can do it better than Ben Stiller.
This maniacal laugh. All right, and we've got Jordan Christensen on the podcast.
Bum, 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 ba, bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun.
And we got Cameron Mickle on the pod.
Mister, if you want to poke the bear, you've come to the right man.
Mister.
It's Mr. Milchek.
I'm gonna go medieval on your
Milchek.
butt. No, wait, that's the wrong movie. Right actor, wrong
Did you
movie.
guys recognize that there was two Severance cameos in this?
Um, Now you got me stumped. Well, I know Mr. Milchek, that was the best one, but what's
Yeah.
the second?
The second one is one of the helicopter pilots is the chick that it always has like the earpiece in. She's like, they'll talk to you now. They have
Oh,
ended the
the
call.
the Asian demonic child?
No, the lady with curly hair, like the light skinned lady with curly hair.
Oh, the one with the Bluetooth in always?
Yeah, who's always like, they've
Oh, I
ended the
I
call. I'm
must have
sorry.
missed that. Yeah, I must have missed that.
Well, why don't you tell them they've ended the call? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I,
they're no
I
longer on the call.
I did notice that too. I was like, man, they got the whole cast of Severance here. What's going
I
on?
know.
Well, that's not a bad idea. It's like a hot show, and yeah, you get like
Yeah,
I was super pumped when I saw Milchek in the cast. I was like, let's go, and his part
I
was
know. And
perfect.
his role was awesome.
He's awesome, dude. Um, well, and yeah, and if he keeps getting more roles like that, I'll have to remember his name, because
His
Milchek
name
is
is
just so
Mr. Milchek.
iconic, dude. That freaking dance he does. It's like so good, dude. I just watch like memes of Milchek dancing. It's so funny. All right, guys. Today we're discussing Mission Impossible 7 or 8. I don't remember which
Eight.
is it 8?
Yep.
That's impressive. He just tied Harry Potter. Like tied Harry Potter for 8 movies. And okay, quick question. I don't know anything about the production on this movie. Did they like plan 3 movies and then the first one didn't do so well, so they like cut it to two? Anyone
Are
I,
you
know?
I
talking about?
thought it was
No,
just being coming too long, and so they're like, we got to cut this into two.
Let's wrap it up.
I'm pretty sure it was just going to be two movies. I'm pretty sure they just planned on a part one and part two.
Because I
I
don't
just
know. I feel
there
like
was just so many issues with part one because of COVID that I think that's what like dragged it on even longer.
mm, oh, that's crazy. Is that when that one came out?
Well, that was when it was like being in production because it came
Right.
out, I think, 2022, 2023, maybe.
It was after COVID, yeah, just ended.
But yeah, they were probably filming during the
Well,
time.
I guess no.
Dead
Like
Reckoning
Maverick
Part
came out
1
after
was
COVID.
2023. So these movies take 1 to 2 years to make and finally gets released because of COVID. They
Yeah.
probably delayed its release. Yeah. Because yeah, like it almost seems like he aged 3 years in between the films, which I guess he did. I'm just trying to be generous to our Scientologist. I mean, here, man, he's my favorite Scientologist. So,
He's gonna
um,
live forever.
just gonna live forever. Dude, 62 years old and doing the stunts he is, dude. Guys, this movie, there was, my palms were sweaty. Not like since like Free Solo. Like I actually was like, Tom Cruise is so old, and it's like I already know this movie's released and he's fine, but my goodness, watching him bounce around in the airplane, I was like, I just haven't seen somebody like bouncing around in the. That's like a nightmare I've had, literally. Did you ever had that where you're just hanging onto the wing of a plane and you're like, please stop flying this plane so I can get in, and then you end up falling and waking up because of that jump feeling you get?
Well, I just feel like that's like every roller coaster nightmare because like you like
Oh,
check your
yeah,
seatbelt
the
like
seat
seven times
latch
and
comes up,
you
yeah.
just see
Final
him like
Destination.
yeah, the amount of times where he's like standing up or like flying out and like the people getting launched out.
How many people he has to like punch and then fly the plane while the guy's
Yeah.
passed out in the cockpit. You're like, get him out. And then he like flips the plane. The guy goes, it's amazing.
But
Oh my goodness.
do you want to give a quick synopsis?
A crick in the nick. Um, let's give a crick a synopsis.
He does a
Um,
stunt, saves the day. There you go,
our
done.
lives are the sum of our choices. Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt is Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. That's what they say here for the plot synopsis. So we know less information than we started. Not the best recap. Basically, if you've watched the Mission Impossible franchise, Impossible. Mission Impossible.
Hmm.
It's this movie is the summation of all the stunts that Tom Cruise. It's the most stuntiest, sprintingest movie of all time. It's great. It's amazing. What else is there to say?
This is what Free Guy was trying to do.
Free Guy. Yeah,
Or
I,
not Free
I
Guy,
didn't finish that movie.
Fall Guy.
And Fall Guy. Yeah.
Because Fall Guy was the movie made by a stunt coordinator with
This feels like the
like
last
six
movie
stunts.
that's pleading for the Academy to start recognizing stunts in the Academy Awards. It's like, and it just got released. It's like, wait, they haven't included the category yet. What if Tom Cruise never gets nominated and then it goes to some Chris Hemsworth, you know? It's like, give
I
it
don't
to
know.
Tom Cruise.
I know you're saying that, but honestly, I kind of got a feeling, and I could be like, I'm kind of curious as to yours. I kind of felt like this was the end of an era. I don't know if you got the same feeling watching this. Like, I just don't feel like
Like
there's going to
the
be
end of
this.
the time where we like stopped AI before they become our overlords. Like,
Yeah, well, I just don't think that we're going to get another movie like this big a budget, big a actor, and like with like in the theaters where people pack in. I don't know. I maybe. I mean, they
didn't
surprised
they
me
say that
with
about Top Gun
Oppenheimer.
Maverick? Yeah.
Yeah.
No Way
But that
Home,
was one,
Spider-Man No Way Home.
but Top Gun Maverick, that was once again Tom Cruise, and I don't know how
Oh, for
much more
sure.
he's got in
He
him.
he is doing more for Hollywood than just about all of Hollywood combined.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like he
Yeah,
single-handedly
he's
had two
saving
banger
theaters
movies.
nationwide.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And while
Living
everybody else is
blood.
burning bridges, he's like trying so desperately to keep people to come to the theater.
Yeah. Well, and I owe it to Tom Cruise and my neighbor, Brad, if you're listening, this is for you. But I owe it to Tom Cruise because he let me know that my TV was optimized for sport watching and not for movies. So I actually changed the optical settings on my TV. So now they're optimized for movies, and my movies are popping. So thank you, Tom Cruise, for saving movies and my home theater, which is kind of a catch-22 because now I'm going to start watching more movies at home and not go to the theater as much. So, but thank you for your service, and I'll keep paying to see your movies. So, uh, anyway, yeah, now I'm actually entering that stage where I'm like, okay, well, I just bought two tickets to go see 28 years later, and I'm like, that's like 30 something bucks. I'm like, when it comes available, it's no more than 25 bucks. I could just buy it as soon as it's available on streaming. But I'm like, no, going to the theater while it's still a possibility. But then I'm like disappointed because it's not an IMAX. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to
Yeah,
the
see,
theater and they don't play the movies loud enough for me to hear.
that's what I've been thinking. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Jordan is locked in. If it isn't like in 5 years that there's no such thing as just regular movie theater, that it's only IMAX. Because literally it's such a different viewing experience. Like IMAX is so much better. It's
It is.
ridiculous. Like, because it's literally just like going and watching it at like your buddy's house on a big projector, like on the wall, versus like watching something that'll change your life. Like it's actually insane.
And I don't think theaters will ever die 100%. Like there'll always be, I think, one, even if it's just a like um what's it called? Kind of like almost like a museum.
Yeah, dear viewer, Jordan said the same thing about Blockbuster. He's like, this
No,
is never going away. It's a
no,
great
they do
business.
have like
You should invest while the going's good now.
they
I don't
do
know why
have
he's
like
Trump.
one not Blockbuster, but like one video store in Texas. Like they don't make any money,
I'm
but
pretty sure they're gone now, yeah. They made a documentary about it and it still didn't save it.
Oh, I agree, Jordan. And I think one of the smartest things
Yeah.
that they've started doing is like reruns and like being able to watch movies that were like super old, being able to watch them in
Yes.
IMAX. I
Just so
think
you
that
know,
is so smart.
Revenge of the Sith like grossed more money than I don't know if it was Rise of Skywalker or
that's right.
something wild
Yeah.
where it's
That's
like,
crazy.
or it was Ryan Johnson. I can't remember, but one of the movies, and you're like, that is surprising. Like
Yeah.
even a prequel Star Wars movie, Revenge of the Sith is probably the best of the prequels, but even then, it's like to see a prequel over like modern Star. I hope Disney gets the memo because holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, if they send like a Christopher Nolan film or Lord of the Rings through IMAX in my theater, I'm going, like, for sure.
Well, and
Yeah.
speaking of Nolan, this did feel a lot like a Nolan film. Like the
Kind of did.
rotating ship totally felt like the rotating
Yeah, like
room.
Inception or Tenet.
Yeah, I was thinking also Dunkirk. It reminded me because there's a lot of those IMAX cameras like on the aircraft,
Yeah.
which I thought was really good.
Hmm. For sure. So, what are you like? what was like watching this movie? Going to the theater, it felt nostalgic, but I had just gone to see what was it, The Accountant 2 before seeing this a week prior. This was one of the few movies where it's like, I will pay to see this one. I'm gonna go see 28 years later. But there was like three movies right now, like Bring Her Back by the Rocka Brothers. I do want to see
Sorry,
that. They did.
Cameron. Cameron's not gonna watch that.
Oh
Right.
no, Cameron, yeah, definitely
Okay.
don't, dude. It looks so terrifying. But I'll definitely see it once it comes out. But I was debating to go see that. And then
I
I
might
haven't
go
seen the
see it
Minecraft
tomorrow.
movie.
I
I
just
heard it's
like
great. What's that?
I said I might go see it tomorrow because I'm just like, I want to see it.
I know, dude. Like I kind of am too. I'm like maybe I'll see a, matinee or something. But lastly was there was one other movie that looked pretty decent. I texted you guys about it. What was it? There were some new trailers, but then there was one other
Oh,
one, Bring Her Back, and
the
then
Frankenstein.
no, so those are coming out in the future. I was going to mention those in the future, but like there's two movies out right now.
Well,
I can look it
Final
up, but yeah.
Destination we mentioned, but I don't know if that's what you wanted to see in theaters, was
Oh,
it?
Final Destination. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh,
just
okay.
because like I'll see a horror movie in theater because like you said, the bigger screen, sometimes it's enjoyable to watch with people. People in Madison are super fun to watch movies with. Like they'll gasp, they'll laugh, like they're a great audience. No one, I've never seen like the chicken jockey stuff, thankfully, in Madison that everyone else is experiencing when they watch Minecraft, but everyone's, chuckling and having a great time. Like I saw Oppenheimer in a full theater and it was great. So, um, especially the nude scenes. That was just great. Now I felt super uncomfortable. Anyway, let
Watching Terrifier 2 is one of my favorite movie experiences. Everybody next to me was
that's why
laughing
you're convinced that
hysterically.
those movies are good. Because like I'll be honest,
So
I try to
good.
watch them. Like these are awful. Like I can't watch them.
I love it so much.
Art the Killer Clown. Anyway, so yeah, what was your movie theater experience like? Did you guys feel like it's your last time going? I mean, other than 28 years later, of course. I don't,
No,
Cameron, are you
no.
gonna see 28 years? Or is that too scary?
No, I mean I've seen 28 Days Later. I'm just not super big zombie. It's hard. It
But
has
it's
to be
like the
amazing.
best zombie.
It has to be amazing writing for me to be looped in. And so since
Alex Garland, what else do
that's
you need?
will you
Okay.
let me finish? Holy
Yeah.
hell. Oh my gosh. I'm mid
What are you
speed.
retarded?
Alex Garland. Yeah, and so the only reason why I'm considering it is because I do really like Alex Garland's writing.
What has Alex Garland done other than like 28 days? What has he done?
Ex Machina.
Oh, no
And
way.
yeah,
And
he
he also did
directed.
Annihilation. Did you finally watch that one?
I did see Annihilation. I like that one
Yeah,
too.
he wrote and directed both.
And then you still need to see the war one you didn't see yet, Civil War.
Civil War. Oh, okay. So that's Garland. Okay. I always forget. Yeah.
I need
He
to
not
watch I need to watch Men. Maybe I'll
and yeah, so
maybe
he
I'll
not
watch
only
Men.
wrote all those, but he directed them as well. So
Oh, okay.
the only two or three that he's written that he didn't was those Danny Boyle movies. So The Beach, um,
He didn't write the no, most recent war one, right? No.
he
Civil War.
he
No.
co-wrote
Oh,
it.
the War Brother one, the
Yeah,
Warfare.
Warfare.
Warfare. He
Oh, he
co-wrote it.
co-wrote it. Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like Alex Garland and teaming up with Danny Boyle. I'm curious. Did you see Weeks though, Cameron? I didn't hear if you saw Weeks, period.
No.
I would recommend it just because Jeremy Renner is really good in it, and it has one of my favorite opening of a zombie film scene. I don't know how to describe it. Like the opening scare of the zombies. It's so good. It reminds me of a little bit of like what is it? Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder one. It's just like fun to watch an outbreak
Dawn
really
of the
done
Dead is
well.
easily the best zombie movie. It's not even close.
Dude, 28 Days Later shreds Dawn of the Dead
Not even
100%.
close. The characters in Dawn of the Dead are
When's the
hilarious.
last time you've seen 28 Days Later?
Around the same time that I watched Dawn of the Dead, and I don't remember like anything from 20 Days Later. All I remember is Killing Murphy waking up in the hospital, and then I just remember that house that's like Resident Evil vibes.
Oh, so good,
That's
dude.
all I can remember.
Dude, well, thankfully well, I was gonna tease it later, but yeah, we're gonna be reviewing 28 Days Later next week, 28 weeks later the following week, and then 28 years. So back to back to back, baby. So you're gonna get a chance to watch 28 Days Later, Cameron. Again, I can't
Yeah,
wait for you to
Cameron,
see
you're
it
no
again.
longer in charge of the podcast
Yeah,
titles.
yeah, yeah. I am. Exactly. Yeah, it's so funny. I think I just took it upon myself. I'm like, Karen doesn't have a say in this, but no, I mean, obviously with years coming out, I'm like, we gotta do it, and it just lined up perfectly like that. So sorry, it's out of your hands, but no, if you can't make it or whatever. But anyway,
So anyways, do we want to talk about what it was like actually watching this movie in the
yeah,
theater,
like in
or
the
talk about
theater.
every other
Yeah,
movie that's in theaters?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, it was a
And
tangent, but
speaking of
talking
Dawn of
about
the Dead,
theaters, you know?
what's
Yeah.
his name is actually in this movie? What?
Wait, what?
The black dude. I forget his name.
Racist.
That's
Are
he
you talking about
is.
what's his name? Yeah.
Ving Rhames? The only
No,
black guy in
yeah,
this
Ving
movie?
Rhames.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember he's the guy playing chess and they're like looking through the
He's not the only one. Excuse me. We were quoting
Wait. What movie are you
Severance
talking
guy
about? You
over and
said
over.
he's the only black guy in
Dawn
wait,
of the
what?
Dead.
He's not the
Oh,
only
yeah,
black
yeah,
guy
yeah.
in
No,
Dawn of the
Ving
Dead. There's
Rhames.
multiple.
Yeah, Ving Rhames is in Dawn of the. That's hilarious. See, it all comes full circle. Now we're back to Mission Impossible.
Wasn't that what you quoted though? Because you're like, oh, I quoted a different movie. What quote did you
I'm gonna
say
go
from him?
medieval on your butt. That's Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I'm pretty far from okay. If you know,
Okay,
you know.
anyways,
Pulp
I'm just gonna
Fiction's my
get right
guy.
into it. So I
No, I
watched
want to hear your movie theater experience though, because this is actually kind of one last thing I wanted to talk about was movie theater experiences. But go.
well, that's what I was gonna get into.
Yeah, if you just wouldn't talk about anything other than your movie going experience,
Well,
that'd
and
be great.
Ty, you usually ask what was like watching it the first time and rewatching it. Cameron rewatched it. Nerd.
Did you see it
I
twice,
did.
Cameron?
I
Let's
did.
go.
I saw it on the Saturday of its opening weekend, and then I saw it on Labor Day. I saw it on Saturday with Allie's family, and then
In a
I saw
regular theater.
it in a regular theater, and then I saw it Monday on Labor Day in IMAX. So,
Yeah, boy.
Let's
um,
difference between the two.
oh, so different. That's why I considered going and seeing Sinners again in IMAX. Just I'm super bummed that I it's probably out of IMAX now, but
Mm.
I was seriously reconsidering because I don't think Sinners is amazing, but
Well,
I
but was it shot in IMAX though? Do
I
you
think
know?
yeah, it was shot in IMAX and also like because the music is like a focal point of the story. I'm like I bet on those speakers it'd be crazy.
Oh yeah. No, it makes all the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, watching first time was crazy because I had well first off going in didn't really know much. I tried to avoid as little trailers and stuff because like I'd seen the first one and we know what to expect from the Mission Impossible franchise. Like literally the only one that's kind of a miss in my opinion is the second one and that's still like a 6 out of 10. It's just like I think it just tested the boundaries of like how cheesy and like how much are people willing to suspend
If you thought
disbelief? And
that
it's
was
like,
cheesy, you should see Face
whoa.
Off, directed by John Woo as well. And
And so it was like, but so I didn't really know much going into it. I did not know that it's almost 3 hours. But what was crazy, especially on my first viewing, I'd never once checked the time. The only way I like recognized how long it was Allie was like, I need to go to the bathroom. I can't hold it any longer.
you're
And she
like, we
like
all have to make sacrifices, hon. Just
yeah,
check.
and so luckily she just missed Gabriel's just like essentially repeating what they already knew of him being like, I know all this and you're gonna let the entity in. So I was like, you didn't really miss much. But yeah, I was just impressed at how I felt like it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Dark Knight pacing, where I'm like, it feels like three different movies in one, where it's like, oh, this is the like the especially on the rewatch, I was like, I forget how many different like things are in this movie. Because it's like the first part is or like so the last part is the plane flying and then it's the submarine before that and then before that it's like fighting Gabriel and stuff like that and I was just like and like the bomb and I'm like this is so crazy how all of this is like in the same movie but yeah I was really impressed and there was a lot of like kind of Easter eggs that I picked up on the second viewing that I kind of like really appreciated that I was expecting like I'm like, how many hidden details can there be in a Mission Impossible movie? But there's like some fun lines, like Simon Pegg says to the French lady, he says, "Yeah," when she's like shooting at him, he's like, "I said not to kill him," and she's like, "And I say I kill him," and he's like, "Ugh, you're gonna be the death of me," and then it's kind of fun that later she's the one that saves his life. So there's little things like that where I was like, oh, okay, that's a little nice like foreshadowing. But yeah, just overall, I think it's like
Was that like an anti-shadowing then? I mean, she literally saves his life. I don't
well, yeah, well, I mean, I think that's what. Then at the end, he's like, "Do you have any experience, medical experience?" She's like, I kill people. I can work with that."
know.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I just think this is similar to Deathly Hollows Part Two. I think it's the perfect like finale. I don't know that in and of itself it's a perfect film, but to me, I think it perfectly wraps up the series. Like,
Mm.
and I think it gets a little bit of a like a bump because of like the homages and like the like how everything leads up to that and how the other things like the rabbit's foot, that was super cool that they brought that in. It's like you didn't even know what you were stealing, and you're like, okay, that's like a really cool tie-in. Especially just watching the third one recently. But yeah, overall, just really enjoyed it both times.
Yeah, I enjoyed that they made it personal for him because I feel like this did better than what Spectre tried to do with Daniel Craig. That was one comment I wanted to make. When they had the best actor, Christoph Waltz, gonna be the final reckoning for James Bond, and you're like, this is gonna be great, and then he just says everything, and then it just feels so flat.
I
This one
did
did
this.
have like,
I
hey,
was
by the
behind the
way,
scenes of this.
yeah, yeah. It's like, hey, let's go back and watch those movie scenes. I was there the whole time. Oh my gosh. Like, but he wasn't though. It's like when they did Glass Onion, right? It's like you shot it and you intentionally misled us, but
Well,
thanks for
they were trying to do what even Puss in Boots: The Last Wish did better, where he was like, where he's in the background, he's like, I was at every one of your deaths. I'm like, they even did it better than freaking Spectre.
yeah, so I liked that how yeah, it was like but Gabriel made it personal for him where he's like, you once endangered a lot of people. And this was all set in motion because of you felt like, okay, I got to save my wife, but in the end I won't let the terrorists get away with it. And you're like, well, that was a selfish and you could argue a bad thing, but you're like, but you stand by him and you understand why he made the decision he did. And you know deep down he's like a good guy, but I like that. I think that was good because it almost calls out this it's like the 24 thing where Jack Bauer's like, I'm going to torture this guy because I need the information. Darned be the consequences, and I'm going to torture you. And it's
Let's
like,
justify the
but
means.
yeah, and you're like, go, Jack Bauer, torture that terrorist. Anyway, Jordan, I want to hear from your movie theater experience. I love that you saw it twice, Cameron.
Yeah, so very happy I saw it in the IMAX.
Hmm.
The first half an hour was actually I was actually fidgeting in my seat a lot, and because I was just
Like
like,
Tom Cruise when he's getting that AI bath, he's like,
no, I was starting to fidget because I was just like, this better pick up, otherwise I'm gonna lose my mind. Because it was just like lots of flashes to the other movies, and I'm like, okay, so I'd rather just go watch those movies right now. But
Everyone's like,
then
oh, too much dialogue.
well,
hmm.
but it's just, especially with spy movies, I just don't care for the monologues about like, oh, if we figure we got to figure this out and stuff. I'm just like, the reason I watch these Mission Impossible movies is for the stunts. So I was like, just
You're like,
get to
when are
the
you gonna
stunt.
start running, boy?
Yeah.
Chop chop, get on your feet.
And then once that started, I mean, for the next 2 hours or whatever, I was locked in. So, um, and yeah, like Cameron said, it flew by after that. So very fun.
Yeah, the few things Cameron mentioned, like Easter eggs, like one thing I noticed is like Tom Cruise specifically like has a VHS tape that he puts in a
Yeah.
DVD TV player or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said DVD, but it's a VHS
VHS.
player and it's like playing your mission and it's like an old grainy screen and it's just so funny because I'm like, he obviously loves movies. It's great that again, this is an 8-part series where it largely had the same. I mean, Tom Cruise throughout all of it a few different characters that Simon Pegg ever since movie 4, actually 3, actually he was in 3 as well. He was the guy on the phone for him, and then 4 he went in the field with him and everything. So like a lot of actors at Luther, being from the previous missions and stuff like that. So it's cool to see like reoccurring characters. But yeah, 8 movies. That's absolutely remarkable. And the type of movies that these are. I don't remember how old Keanu Reeves is. Is he 50? He was doing John Wick movies and he's still doing like Ballerina. Ana de Armas is like gonna be his apprentice or whatever. She's like another assassin in that world, and Keanu Reeves is like doing some action in there. So
I love Cameron. All of a sudden, he's like, "What? Anna de Armas?"
No, I actually watched somebody talk about like a review of it, Jeremy Johns, and he said it was pretty good, but
pretty good.
yeah, nothing to write home about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, like,
Did John
like,
Wick actually show up in that, or
Yeah, and
yeah,
that
Keanu
was
Reeves is
what
in
he
it.
talked about. He talked about just that he felt like it kind of a bit overshadowed. That like if you want this to live on its own, you can't just constantly keep bringing back like John Wick. Like if you want it
Right.
to be a separate universe, you can't just be like, oh, he's in it.
or its own thing. Yeah, it's in the same universe, but yeah, it relies too like you see it for you're almost like someone like John Wick
But then
would
would you get upset
overshadow the dying.
people
Yeah,
because Mad Max Furiosa, like he only showed up like for a second?
it's funny you say that. Like, I guess I saw Fury Road and I did not care because
No,
I
I didn't
watched
care.
the other Mad Max movies and I was like, dude, this is so much better than anything that's existed before it. I'm like, if you do a good movie, like it's gonna spin my whole belief system is like Furiosa is as important to Mad Max as Mad Max is, which is crazy because I realized Furiosa is not even in the first three, four movies.
Well,
So,
no, I was just asking because you said that he was in it too much, and so I'm like, well, if he just showed up for just a short second split
well,
cameo, do
we
you
were
think
talking
that
about a
wouldn't do it
reviewer
justice?
that we for a movie we have not seen.
No, I was asking Cameron. He has. Oh no, you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Jeremy
I'm
John's
sorry.
seen it. Yeah, that's what.
I keep thinking you're like on this Ana de Armas train because I know you like for a while we're watching everything she was in.
By everything she's in, I'd watched like 3 or 4
Spectre or
movies of
whatever, or not
hers.
Spectre, No Time to Die.
Obsessed.
I literally watched
Obsessed.
all the same movies Jordan had watched, except for Ghosted was the only one I had watched that Jordan hadn't seen. It
Well,
was that.
you haven't seen Knock Knock yet, which I kind of want you to see.
No, that movie
Oh,
looks trash and
It
got
is trash.
dude. I didn't even think
um,
though that's Keanu and her.
Yeah, good point.
yeah,
That's kind
dude,
of
yeah,
crazy.
it's the sequel, you know.
Yeah.
She came back
The
and
sequel
convinced
to
him to
Knock
come
Knock.
back to yeah to retirement, and then he killed his
Uh,
dog, or someone
Funny.
killed his dog.
Oh
So
yeah, they do. She does kill his dog in Knock Knock. That's
oh, does she
funny.
really?
Yeah.
Someone needs to do like a super cut trailer
Spoilers.
of John Wick ballerina, yeah, and
Jordan, you just ruined my knock knock experience.
I think she does. Now I'm like second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure they killed the
Jordan's like, and then like he seeks revenge on her and kills a bunch of people.
dog.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was knock knock. And then he says, knock knock, mother effer, and he kicks out the door.
Do we want to do two favorite things?
Yes. And they can't be the two best stunts. Come on, dude. Airplanes in that submarine. I was sweating the whole time. I was so nervous, dude.
That was my two too.
Which
Sorry,
is
Cameron, your
weird
turn.
because he did an underwater stunt that just didn't hit me the same. And I need to go back and watch. It's before
Oh yeah, he holds his
it's
The
breath or
fifth
whatever.
one.
Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation was probably next. It's my least favorite next to two.
Two.
So two and then Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation was good. I liked Rebecca Ferguson and there was a few scenes in it I liked, but like, yeah, with the whole underwater, he held
Sorry,
his breath for over 6 minutes
every
or
time I
something.
think of the second one, I always think of he's like, I had the guy hold a real knife right up to my eye. It's just- Ah.
Yeah.
He's actually insane.
He is insane, dude. Can you imagine the insurance on that guy? Holy crap. Like,
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah, I
want to
bet.
do? You want to drive your motorcycle off a cliff? No, you can't do that. Like, absolutely not. I want to strap myself on the outside of a plane. No.
Ty, he's strapped in,
Dude,
so
I
he can
don't
just
believe it.
so he can just hit
The
like
Bounce the
ragdoll
ragdoll.
the
ground, I
end of the
know.
plane.
Oh, so good. Guys, yeah, let's get to two favorite things. Jordan, you hit us up first.
You already said it. It's the two stunts. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, what are the stunts? Talk about them.
Yeah, the rotating room. I already mentioned it's like Nolan's movie, and then you got the
The rotating
airplane,
room, I don't even know what you're talking about.
the submarine.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that room does
Did we watch
rotate.
the same movie, Ty?
Yeah, yeah, you said rotating room. I was
What
like,
is
oh, you
there a
mean
third
the
stunt I don't
submarine?
know
No, yeah.
about?
I literally was like, when you said Christopher Nolan, I was like, 2001 Space Odyssey, the rotating room. Like, I was like, Christopher
Oh,
Nolan's The
No,
Hallway. And I was
no,
like,
yeah, it's
what
that's
rotating
Stanley
Inception.
room was
Yeah,
Kubrick.
you were talking about? Yeah, the submarine as it's rolling. I get it. I literally was just like, what room was
and the
rotating?
missiles are just
That's so
landing in the water, and you're like,
they're
please let it
bouncing
go.
around and
Yeah.
It
pinning him
it made
down
me
and
think
stressing
more
him.
of Dunkirk when the ship is slowly sinking and it's
Yes.
rotating.
And then there's just like
Of
soldiers
course,
that are
Jordan
just like
thinks of Dunkirk,
trapped, like, yeah, with no way out. It's so terrifying.
Because I know when
But
I say rotating room, you're thinking of Inception, but it feels more like Dunkirk.
like Inception.
But it is built like Inception because it's a giant room and they rotate it with water.
Like
Well,
Inception.
like a movie directed by the same guy who
which
did a
is
rotating room and
which
a
is
sinking
which
ship.
is funny, Inception, because Cameron will talk about what he's seen lately. We watched Paprika, which is literally Inception.
Paprika.
It's Inception if you made Inception on drugs.
But you can tell Nolan obviously took
Oh,
inspiration from it.
100%.
Yeah. He
I mean,
basically remade
I
it.
mean, it's the same with Perfect Blue. Like same director. He watched Perfect Blue and then's like, I'm gonna make Memento just a better version.
Interesting.
Wait, which is a better version?
I don't know. I think Perfect Blue is probably better, but
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, that'd be fighting words
see,
with a lot of
but
people.
I think Inception is for sure better than Paprika.
Hmm.
Anyways, but
No.
I'll get into my two favorite things. My two
Yeah.
favorite things is I was surprised at all the cameos I thought were really fun. Like I especially loved bringing back the guy who lost his job from the first movie. I thought that that was really cool, full circle. And
Hmm.
also I liked how he talked to him. He was like, I don't know what he's like. Looks sounds like you saved my life. I don't know what I could ever do to like repay you since I ruined your life. And then he was like, he's like, I'd probably still be in that office thinking that I'm happy. And he's like, I'm so grateful for like what you did to my life because I met the woman that I love. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like a wholesome moment. What the heck? And I just was not expecting that from him or to have him like kind of be brought back from the first movie, having just like recently watched the first movie. I just thought that was really cool. And then the second thing is I was just like I liked how the entity kind of showed him what the path was. Otherwise, because to me it almost was one of those things where it's like it's inevitable, and I liked that because the plot almost seemed like
Inevitable.
I was thinking the same thing. I knew you were
Sorry.
gonna.
From Team America. Sorry. He's like, can't say it. Inevitable. Get your
Inevitable.
freaking ears checked, stupid. Bee.
um but
Inevitable.
but it was one of those things that it's like if the entity hadn't kind of predicted it and told him what he needed to do, I would have felt like, okay, this is kind of unbelievable. But like the fact that it was like fitting all these pieces together and like told him, and that's I love the part where he's like, I need a pen. Give me a pen and paper. Um, because it just reminds me of like when you get out of like a it reminds me of Zodiac actually when Jake Gyllenhaal he's like not allowed to take pictures of anything or whatever, and he like gets out of the police stations and he's like just writing down as much like information, like trying to regurgitate it all. Um, but that kind of the one thing I will say, I thought it ended amazingly. My only two gripes is I wish Simon Pegg and Tom Cruise would have died because I'm like I just feel like that would be such a cool way, like the three OGs die in the movie, like all doing a super awesome act, like Luther stopping the bomb, and then Simon Pegg like letting the entity in and trapping it, and then Tom Cruise like killing it. Like, can you imagine how sick that'd be if he was falling and then he just plugs it in and then dies? I'm like, that'd be sick. But I get it. They like it has to have like the perfect spy ending where they all walk off in different directions or whatever. But I was like,
Mhm.
that would have been such a dope ending if he just fell from a million feet after plugging it in.
Yeah, because I
Because only
feel
one of us has a parachute.
Ding. I wanted to hear the sound of the coconut, like sound effect. Dunk. It was such a dumb death,
It
but
was
it made me
hilarious.
laugh because I was like, that's almost what you can expect from these movies. But I don't know. I go back and forth. So at first I didn't give it a perfect review because in my head I was like, I probably would have done two or three things differently. So I'll get to my two favorite things and we'll get into those things. But like I will say, like Tom Cruise obviously loves film, and I love that he has put himself out there as like a 62-year-old man doing like stunts that he doesn't have to be doing. Like, but I really appreciate the heck out of him for doing it and like finding ways to narratively get the stunts in the movie because it's like, oh, the bad guy's escaping in a little rickety old bucket of bolts, in the sky because the AI can't have any technology. So it's like the planes make sense and they're so exciting because they're just like those old stunt planes you'd see. Like you watch older films and it's so impressive to see stuntmen doing actual stunts. And you just see Tom Cruise dangling from a little plane, flying in the air in such precarious.
Did it make you think of Police Story? The whole helicopter hanging from the helicopter?
Oh
At least
yeah.
that's what I
Yeah,
felt.
for sure. Yeah.
The
Like
helicopter hanging
it
from the
reminded me when
helicopter.
I was a kid. It reminded me when I was a kid. This is how I
Jackie
played with my
Chan, sorry.
action figures. Like my action figures were always dangling from a airplane, from a helicopter all the time. It's like the
And then
coolest
when
thing.
he's driving the plane with his foot, he's like trying to grab onto the other
I
plane.
oh my gosh. And he's just like banging his airplane against his like and he's just like shredding it and then he has to finally leave it because it just falls out of the sky. I'm like, this movie is so freaking stressful. It was like it's like free solo all over again. I was having PTSD. So yeah, so Tom Cruise's passion for it comes through, and then like yeah, just the enjoyment this movie brings me. Like the music was so great, having that whole score. I can't even remember who does the music. Is it? It's not John Williams, is it? I
Sorry,
always
when you
assume
said free
John Williams.
solo, I just imagined Tom Cruise saying, "No, we got to make it real." He like unhooks himself from it.
Yeah, he just like unclips himself. Yeah. I'm trying to remember who does the music. Is it John Williams? I feel like it's John Williams. It's probably not John Williams. I don't know.
I'm
John
pretty
Williams
sure
still
John
alive?
Williams
Is he dead
is
now?
dead. Is he alive still? He's like a
They brought him
hundred.
back. No, Jordan, they did they de-aged him. Sorry, it doesn't even make sense to then compose the music for this movie. Anyway,
Holy
um,
crap, he's still alive. How on earth?
yeah, there you go. He's still alive. I
Like a
don't know who does it.
hundred.
It's such a classic score though, you know, the whole spy thriller thing and so yeah, I felt conflicted. So those are my favorite things, obviously, Tom Cruise's passion and then like just the excitement I felt. But there was just a few things like where I, like you, Cameron, thought like, oh, like I thought they were gonna die or end his story. But I'm almost fine if he survives. But honestly thought like the Mission Impossible franchise, it could do the Fast and Furious thing. Like I would see a 30-year younger actor playing as Ethan Hunt on other missions that we haven't seen. Now, you could argue that no one is magnanimous or as exciting as Tom Cruise, but people used to think that before Tom Cruise was the action star that he is today. Like, oh, no one's going to be as good as Robert Redford. No one's going to be as good as Paul Newman. Like, new actors will come about. Miles Teller could take up that role. Heck, like I would
How
love to
many
see.
people will they have to go through that'll kill themselves before they find somebody that's, you know,
All I'm saying is
survives
a
these?
lot of actors are being way too old, like to be action stars. And I'm not saying like they can't be. I'm just saying like John Wick 4 did very much feel like they could have made three or four more of these movies, but
Like
the fact
taking
that
three with
real
six
life
cut
Keanu Reeves is
scenes to,
getting
for
too
him to jump
old.
over a fence.
Well, no, Bob Odenkirk, they're making Nobody 2, which I'm super excited to see. But like I'm like Bob Odenkirk is like in his 50s or 60s. You had Clint Eastwood a year ago. He's like 93. He was starring as an action hero in his own movie. And I'm like, what is happening? Are there no young men? Like take Glenn, what's his name? Glenn Donham.
Well, there's no movie star young men, I feel like big,
No,
like
I feel
you
like
have you have
Timothy
the
Chalamet
Twisters
is
guy.
like the
What's his
only
name?
one.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, Glenn Powell.
He could be he looks like a young Bradley Cooper. He looks like young Tom. He's charming. He can play the tool. He can play the romantic lead. He's
Yeah, he's
perfect.
amazing in Anyone But You, right, Jordan?
I didn't see that one. Was
I
that one
just
any
don't feel
good?
like they're movie stars. They just
Yeah.
don't draw in an audience, you know?
They eventually will. Like where yeah, like where does any actor do it? It's like Robert Pattinson, why do we like him so much? Because we saw him in a bunch of indie films. Why do we like Elijah Wood? It's like
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson, though, he has to work with the right person, is the thing, you know?
I think every actor does. Yeah, some actors have
Some
stinkers.
some
Like
would
Jake
just bring in
Gyllenhaal
like,
still
but
Like
you're
Jake
talking. I'm talking
Gyllenhaal.
about
Like Jake Gyllenhaal is even great in Bubble Boy, and that
Arnold
movie is garbage.
Schwarzenegger. He would just bring in an audience. That's all he had. He just slapped his name on it. People were seeing
sure,
him
but
get
then
pregnant. They
yeah,
were going to see him get.
my point though is like eventually, yeah, those are just brought back because of star power, but it's like give them a chance. Like have more small indie films that make us grow up with these
But
actors and see how they evolve over time.
the problem
Now,
is all the famous people are on YouTube now. So
great.
I mean
Get it?
TikTok or YouTube. I don't know.
Sure. Sure. Anyway, it
I
feels
don't know.
that
I'd
way
say
with like
all the
movies like
famous people.
Minecraft and yeah, and Five Nights at
Well, I mean,
Freddy's.
there's
Like,
social media influencers, whatever.
sure. Anyway, and no, and I get it. Like star power might be dead, but like there is a place for like people that are really passionate about doing like
Dude,
action films.
Kanye West should do it. Please, please give me a Mission Impossible, Kanye. Oh my gosh. It would probably just get shut down because he would just, be spending most of his time in his trailer.
Writing his next summer banger, I'm sure, about
About Heil
relationships with
Hitler.
cousins.
No, did you listen to his last song? It was Hail Hitler.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I don't know what to think about that guy. I think he's someone needs to get him some help. You know how we had like the mutually everyone agreed that Britney Spears needed a what do they call that?
Yeah,
Conservatory
conservatism. Yeah, it's like where
conservatorship.
they give up ownership of like essentially
Yeah,
their
like
land.
someone cares for them because they can't take care of themselves, and then everyone's like, "Free Britney," and then like very soon after, they're like, "Lock her up again." And now I feel like someone needs to do that for Kanye West. Like, can we not get that guy some help or
Like I
something?
say, I think this is kind of the end of some kind of era. I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of
I
slowly.
I agree with the fact that yes, like Tom Cruise is the last action hero in a way.
But like you said, Ty, all the movies, like the big movies, are these actors. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, his next film is going to be with who's the guy that did Punch Drunk Love? What Thomas
Good.
West Thomas West Anderson something.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Thank you, Paul Thomas Anderson. He
Thomas
is
Wes Anderson.
Thomas Wes
Thomas Wes Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson. He he's gonna make a new movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and just like all these actors that are like getting so old but they just like keep acting in movies like Killers of the Flower Moon. I'm just thinking of like these
Yeah,
directors that are like
Oh,
you know who'd be a great Ethan Hunt? Jake Gyllenhaal.
like I'll give it to Scorsese because even though I didn't like Killers of the Flower Moon as much as I wish I did,
I did.
and even the trailer, uh, I know you guys liked it, but or at least Jordan
Cameron
did.
didn't.
Oh, good, Cameron. I'm so glad you're on my side because yeah, the movie was
That
trash.
movie
Sucks.
sucks.
Yeah, the movie is
So
just such a
good.
waste of time. And
Saw
you
it
know what's so
twice.
funny?
Give me back the 2 hours and 48 minutes of or 3 hour
Where
run.
are
Give
the
me
wolves in
more,
this
Scorsese.
drawing?
Give me more.
Where are the wolves in this drawing? Can you see the wolves? It's like,
So good.
oh, it's a metaphor. I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's kind of on the nose, but thank you. Like,
So good.
I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he should have just given us a sequel to Shutter Island.
I will say though,
What actually happened?
to give Martin Scorsese some credit, I certainly am not annoyed at him as I am like Wes Anderson. I'm like, oh my gosh, if Wes Anderson makes another movie with an actor with Bill Murray, Benicio del Toro, whatever, and oh, it's quirky and it's shot this way. I'm like, oh, that's another Wes Anderson movie. It's just garbage at this point. Anyway, I would just love it if they cut his budget and then like he did, yeah, a Wes Anderson horror movie or something. Please, like anything else than what he's done. I couldn't even watch Asteroid City. That movie was trash. Anyway,
I feel
so
like it's
Wes
like an
Anderson, do
OCD. I feel like
better.
it's like an OCD's person's wet dream though.
Yeah.
Watching his movies just
But that would be way too messy for an OCD person. So let's get into Jordan.
would we
Um,
recommend it?
anything? Yeah, would you recommend Mission
Of
Impossible?
course.
Absolutely.
You guys
And
go to the theater, go see it with
I'm
us.
curious,
I know.
where does this rank for you guys all time for Mission Impossible? Because maybe it might be recency bias, but this actually might be my fave.
Oh, I wouldn't put
Because
it my favorite.
for me, it's like it's in the same tier as this Ghost Protocol and the first one. I think are the three best, and then I think it gets into maybe it's the one right before this, Dead Reckoning,
Part
and
one. I liked the
then the third
Fallout.
one.
Fallout was top three for me. The one
I
with
still
Henry
Uh,
haven't finished that
Cavill.
one yet
Are you serious?
because I'm it's Henry Cavill.
Stop, dude. Henry Cavill's
Dude,
Jordan. I'm
Henry
gonna
Cavill is
send.
such a good actor. You're such a
He's so
dumb idiot.
good. Jordan's an idiot.
Jordan watched one interview and was like, I
Yeah.
know everything
No,
about
and you
this
know what's
person
so
for the
funny,
rest of
Jordan?
the time.
Henry Cavill was so fetching right. He's like, I
Seriously,
didn't
have
read
He
the
you
was
script
seen
first. He's
how
like,
Star
he-
have you
Wars has
looked at
gone now?
Star Wars lately? The
It's
guy's
yeah,
better
but
literally
than
that
that.
garbage.
that was him saying that though
No,
after making Superman. So calm down, all
no, he
right?
was not in Superman. He was like in The Witcher. He was in a very popular
Martha.
Netflix adaptation. And you know what's amazing? He left The Witcher Netflix because they were bringing in a bunch of woke shiz, and he's like, I just think we should be loyal to the source material
No,
and the
I
fans.
agree. He's
And he
definitely
left.
moved up
Good
And
on
off.
him.
he's literally a total nerd. And he didn't want to
Yes.
do any steroids for the Superman role. He like literally
He's
beefed up
jacked.
all by
Yeah.
himself. Like
Listen, he's moved up on my list. All right. All right.
Jordan's still like, he insulted my Star Wars.
No,
the
no. I
Star Wars
just
that you don't even like anymore.
Yeah, dude,
I.
amen. Come on, Jordan. Come to the dark side. Love Henry Cavill with us.
Yeah, dude. He's
Love
so
the
He
sexy.
Cavills.
was acting like he was so above it, which is why it was funny at the time. That's all. Okay.
Again, I
But
know
is
the
he as
interview
sad
he's
as Ben
referring to. Go
Affleck
back and watch
in
the
the
interview.
Batman vs
It really
Superman
isn't that
interviews?
bad. He's like, I'd have to see a script. I'd love to see it. Like,
Jordan, is he as sad though as
Well,
Ben Affleck in the
and
Batman
then
vs
his Guy Ritchie movie, two thumbs down.
which Guy Ritchie?
Boo.
Which one? The Gentleman?
Ministry from Ungentlemanly Warfare or Man from Uncle?
Oh, Man from Uncle. I still haven't watched
Oh,
that one.
I love Man from Uncle. That is such a good
Man from
movie.
Uncle is great. You're
It's a
Oh,
dumb.
great movie. You're an idiot,
spy
How
Jordan.
do you
movies
like Mission
stink.
Impossible? Yeah, how do you
Mission
like Mission
Impossible, you just
Impossible?
said,
You
yeah.
literally just said it was so good.
That's I said, yeah, because
Because
of
of
the
the stunt.
stunts. Thank you.
Watch Guy Ritchie's films. He has plenty of stunts. Henry Cavill's doing
Seriously.
stunts. Other actors doing stunts. Arnie Hammer.
Dude, you need to watch Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. You're such a you're a little munchkin.
I
It's
know, Jordan.
generic action spy. I just don't care.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, not generic like Terrifier and just all these slashers that
Yeah.
are the
Oh, a killer
exact same
clown.
thing,
So
copy and
original.
paste. Oh yeah,
No.
zombie movie, third time in a row with the same title. Oh, that's not copy and
No, no,
paste.
no. Weeks is not the
Nope.
same as days, and days
Those
is
are artists, guys. Those are artists.
we're
All
Um,
just
right.
giving Jordan a hard time. Jordan, you need to forgive and forget, man. You need to forgive Henry Cavill, put him
It's
in
all
your
right.
good
We have different
graces.
tastes and things. It's okay.
it's not okay.
No, it's not okay. Your take is not okay. We disavow. This is actually why Jordan was kicked off the podcast.
Oh, I was
He
kicked
lost
off now.
ownership because
Oh.
yeah, it's all coming out. It was this bad take on Henry Cavill. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah. So real quick, top three Mission Impossible movies. Go. What was it, Cameron?
I'd
Top
probably
three.
say
Not
Final
necessarily in the same
Reckoning.
order. Yeah.
So this one,
Mm,
I think Ghost Protocol, the fourth one, the Burj Khalifa. Um,
so good, dude.
uh,
Dubai, the tower. Oh my gosh.
I'd probably say the first one just because it's a classic.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be very
The
unpopular
first one
here.
is really close though with the most recent one. I think Seven Part One was so
Yeah.
cool. The motorcycle jump and the train scene was sick.
So I'm gonna have to go with Mission Impossible 3.
Hmm.
I love that one. So good.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is so scary in that. Rest in
I
peace, man.
know, right? Just out of nowhere. He's like a dweeb, but he's like very scary. Um, you don't think I'll do it? Great.
I
He's
was
just
expecting
counting to 10,
hey,
and it's
Ty,
like the best
be-
acting I've seen
because
ever.
because mom would always make me leave after seeing the girl's brain explode. I for the some reason I thought at the end his wife died, so I was just waiting the entire time for her brain to explode, and then she lived. I was like, what the fudge? I'm like, thank goodness she's alive. I was expecting her to brain to explode.
That's so funny, dude. Ethan, I little face. Eyes go the separate directions. She does the cute little small, what's it called? The googly eyes from the Last Wish, Puts in Boots or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. The
Oh
cute eyes
yeah.
are popping out, yeah. Um, so I would say yeah, so
a
three,
third.
4, and Ghost Protocol, and then the one that the final not final, sorry. The I just said it,
La-
the Fallout, sorry. Couldn't think of the title.
oh
That's how
wow,
good it was. I love
I need
Fallout.
to rewatch that
Oh,
because
it's so good.
I still
It
have four,
has
five, six to rewatch.
it has
And
the
I don't
best
really remember
hand-to-hand
much of
combat
it.
in all of the movies in the bathroom stall scene where they fight
Yeah.
they're trying
That's
to
when I
scan his
stopped
phone.
watching it.
That's when he's dude, just watch that scene. I don't care if
When
you watch
Henry
the whole movie.
Cavill
That's and he
unlocked his
cocks his
arm.
fist. It's such a
So
good scene.
sick.
And like he's taking both Ethan Hunt down and Henry Cavill. It's so
I
exciting.
got so bored. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Would you stop? Jeez, Jordan. My
Dude, if
gosh.
it was Jackie Chan, Jordan would be like, this is the best piece of cinema
Just me
ever.
here. This is best, man. Art. Just watch the fight in I think the bathroom
I'm
stalls one
like
is
more generic action.
it's so good. It's just got such suspense. He's pointing the gun and it's slowly getting closer to Ethan's face. It's so good. So yeah,
All right, Jordan, what about you?
those three.
Probably the same as Cameron.
What were they? I forgot. It was
The,
one. It was
so
this one. But what was the
eight,
third
four,
one?
and one.
841. Okay, Ghost
Well,
Protocol.
I'd probably put one. I don't know.
The order didn't matter, but I was curious what you guys thought. So I think that's interesting. You guys had the same. I would argue that you might have recency bias. I do want to go back and
Yeah.
watch. Um,
I'm interested to see after rewatching four, five, six, how
yeah,
if
yeah,
that
because I
changes
do want to watch
anything.
Rogue Nation again and give it another chance. I just remember watching it being like, oh, that felt like a letdown from
Yeah.
four. Four was so good, and that's why
Four's
after watching Rogue
unreal.
Nation, Fallout was just a breath of fresh air because I feel like they stepped it
I
up.
just don't think that you can get better than that, like that stunt, like for your fear factor of like the gloves that are keeping you
Oh,
on like
no,
the
for sure. And
tallest
it's so
building in
funny
the
you say that
world.
because I feel like that there was like a very tonal shift of four from the movie before it, three. Three felt like a very isolated movie. I don't know if it was J.J. Abrams that didn't
Yeah, it was
direct,
J.J.
but he
Abrams.
he produced. I don't think he directed
No,
it,
I'm
did
pretty
he?
sure he directed it.
I'll look it up real quick. Sh- Um,
He did the
anyway,
third
I
one.
what was that?
He did the third one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because every time I say this,
That's all right, Jordan. He's not going to believe us.
I'm not gonna because I know he like produced, but I swear it's not his name. No, it's director.
Yeah,
It's
Ty,
J.J.
why don't you just ask the entity who did
Well,
it?
it's so funny too because I knew as a producer, yeah, I knew he was definitely a producer because it's like, what is the rabbit's foot? And that's J.J. Abrams, the mystery box, like, oh, come back and I'll tell you or whatever, right? Like that's what um, is it Lawrence Fishburne tells him, right? And it's like, oh, if you come back, I'll tell you what it is or whatever. And then it's revealed at the end of eight or nine or yeah, eighth
Yeah,
movie. It's like it was AI the whole time. I thought it was a bioweapon.
yeah.
Well, and so the first 30 minutes, I just felt like they tried really hard to connect all the films. And by the end, I liked it. Like Cameron said, it was good bringing back the first guy. But at the beginning, it was just like, oh, it started. It was making me nervous because it started to remind me of 007,
Member
um,
berries?
uh,
Spectre.
Spectre, yes, where the guy's like, I was actually the real villain behind all your problems, and they just monologuing, and that's what was kind of happening at the beginning here. It's like, oh, see, all the films of every mission you had in the past is connect. This is what has actually brought you here. Like,
Just
this
so
is
you
the
know, one of these
real.
innocuous items you had in your possession the entire time is one of the three Deathly Hollows.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, and
my gosh.
it was like, yes, the other people from the other. Anyways, it was just like kept referring to the other films, and I was like, okay, like be your own film. Stop talking about the other ones. Like, anyways,
One thing
I
I'm going to
mean, it
throw
is
out is
Mission
Ron.
Impossible
There's one
7 Part 2.
I know, but it just reminds me of the fourth Matrix or whatever, where it was like it kept showing us clips of the old film. I'm like, now you just make me want to watch the old film. Like,
You're funny.
anyways, we're past the first 30 minutes. The
I
last
think it's
two
cool that
hours are solid.
all three of us did say four. There's something really special about four. Tom Cruise like felt like he dialed it up a bit, and then the editing and the way it was shot was so
Well, the
fun. Like,
stunts are
yeah,
so
the
rad.
Dubai stuff,
Yeah.
the
And yet, even like
locations.
the sandstorm with him running in the sandstorms
Yeah.
behind him, it's like it's just the
We haven't
most
seen him run in
Cruise
the
scene.
natural elements or against a disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Like,
But
in just the other film where it just holds his breath, you're like, I mean, that's cool he broke a record, but you're holding your breath. I mean, give
dude,
us where you're hanging on a
do better,
building.
Tom Cruise. I expect
Just
more from you.
just have you
That's what I'm
hanging on a
saying, dude.
building.
It's so
Yeah.
funny you say that because somehow this movie with the submarine worked better for me than the other one. That's why I agree. I'm like,
Mm.
this one was so exciting with the whole submarine. Oh my gosh, and then being dragged further down and then just losing your pack and swimming up as a naked baby. I was like, please, somebody warm this man back up. Give
I
him some
I
water.
love the simplicity of his just like that in Maverick, where he's just like he's got a mission and then you just go through that.
It's
It's
impossible, and he does it.
and yeah, and then it's just all the things that could go wrong start to go wrong. And then it's like problem, solution, problem, solution. It's really great. It's good.
You should run a team of impossible missions, Jordan.
Well,
God.
no, it just reminds me of one of my favorite shows, which is I'm rewatching for like the fourth time, which is a Trailer Park Boys, where it's just like problem, and then they come up with like a really white trash solution. Like,
all right, I'll just quickly get into what I've seen lately.
Yeah, let's hear it, Cameron.
So obviously I've watched Mission Impossible 2, 3, 7, and 8.
Was this
Uh,
just before? Oh, before seeing seven again, or just recently watched it?
I watched 1 and 2,
Okay.
1, 2, 7 before watching 8 twice, and then now I've watched 3, and then
oh,
be watching
can
4,
I
5,
just mention what my wife whispered when we started the movie? She's like, "So where's the airplanes? I thought this was a sequel to Maverick." Because I asked her before the film, I'm like, should we
Oh,
rewatch part one?
She's
And
seen none of them.
she's seen none of them, and she's like, no, I don't need to rewatch it. And I'm like,
that is
or
so
watch it.
funny.
And I'm like, okay.
She's
And
like watching
so
the little dinky airplanes, and she's like,
because
"No, this plane's where it is as
she thought
fast."
it
It's
was Maverick.
so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That is amazing.
All right, sorry, Cameron, keep going.
That is so funny.
And then I watched Shutter Island, and my review was I finally caved. He's crazy.
Uh,
Wait,
I
what
thought you were
movie?
gonna admit that the movie's not good.
No.
Which movie? Oh, Shutter Island. So yeah,
Shutter
yeah.
Yeah.
Island.
I
He's like,
want
I
to
finally
rewatch that.
caved.
When
The
you're
movie's
talking
not
about
all
that,
that
I'm like,
good.
oh man, I need to rewatch
I
that.
yeah,
He's crazy.
there's just so many, especially this time I was like paying super attention to details, and every single detail was just pointing that he was crazy. And I was
He's crazy, dude.
like every single
Nah.
shot that has like a guard with him in it, and then it shows um his therapist and there's no guard, and then it shows like an actual person there, guard in the background. There's so many
Yeah,
details
Cameron,
where I'm like,
that's the thing. You have to
oh,
like
that
go with
hurts.
the narrative that you want to have, but like it's almost disturbing because you're like, do you really want this evil, corrupt island to get away with lobotomizing an innocent detective? Like
Yeah.
that's pretty messed up. So I'm actually like, yeah, it's fine. He's crazy.
Yeah. But see, but whether or not he is crazy in the final seconds, that is up for debate. Whether or not he accepts that he is crazy and
Yeah,
doesn't want to live anymore, or whether
yeah,
or not he resets. That I think is a good discussion.
there you
Because
go.
I personally believe that he accept or he recognizes that he
Mm,
is crazy, but he
yeah,
pretends to revert that way. He doesn't have to live that way.
mm,
Um,
interesting.
and then I rewatched Silence and I added it to my top 200 because it's amazing
Let's
and
go,
depressing as
dude.
shiz.
Yes.
Um, but
Scorsese, dude. That movie was slow and long, but I love that one.
yeah,
Too bad it wasn't as good as Killers of the Flower Moon.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I didn't keep checking my watch every 5 minutes of Killers. When did we wake up?
seriously.
When did we see some killers, for Pete's sake? I
That's
mean,
true. I did at the first time watching Killers, but
Yeah, dude.
good, yeah.
Just with Silence, I just want to like it makes me just want to talk to the dude who did the Other Side of Heaven for the mission. I'm like, you think your mission was hard? Check out what Andrew Garfield had to deal with, bud. They were out here torturing people. Oh, you had rats nibbling on your feet. Yeah, he was getting hung upside down.
Dude, and
Uh,
then his conversation with Liam Neeson, dude. That is your God. He's pointing to
you
the sun. Oh
you
my
had a
gosh, I cry every time I see that scene.
you had a hurricane. They put me upside down and drowned me. Or no, did they put him upside down? I think they just like had him
they
hanging.
just had him on the posts.
Uh,
Yeah,
They put him upside down when they cover and they like slit member in the back of the ear, and then
yeah.
you slowly bleed.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I know, dude.
and then
Oh,
I rewatched The Girl with Dragon Tattoo, and just like American Psycho, Jordan was super right. You skip those three traumatizing that will change your life forever scenes, and the movie's amazing. I think I added it to my top 200. And
Eventually, it'll make it to your top 100. I know it.
and I just explained it because I watched it with Allie, and I was just like, so he forces her to give him oral. And the next one, I'm like, okay, now he rapes her. And then the next one after I skipped over, I'm like, and she rapes him and carves into his chest or gives him I thought it carved into his chest, but it's actually a tattoo. And it gives him a tattoo saying, I'm a pig rapist. I was like, and she was like, oh, I'm like, this movie is so different when you don't have to watch those scenes. But yeah,
but
it's
it's a good thing you described it in gory
Yeah, good
detail
thing you
for her.
described it in in
So even though you
detail.
didn't see it, you did make sure
So
that
her
she's
imagination
just
can be
as
even
strong.
more crazy.
um but yeah,
And our imagination's just running wild.
I forget what a great performance Skarsgård gives. Oh my gosh, he is that
He's great.
switch.
He's
That
so great.
because he's so friendly and he's like overly friendly the
Have
entire
you been watching
movie.
Andor, Cameron?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. Well, he's kind of doing the similar thing where in public light he's like a little flamboyant and really fun, and then like in secret he's like trying to take down the Empire. He's doing the double agent kind of thing.
Mhm.
He is such a good actor. I'm like, he's
Do you
probably the
like
one.
do you like Andor? I
I
can't get
watched the
into
first
it.
season. I haven't watched the second season. I heard the last two episodes are good, so I'll probably watch episode 7 and 8 and then be done with it because
I'm so done with Star
But
Wars.
yeah, but I
yeah,
was just I mean, I'm so impressed with him. It also blows my mind every time and I refuse to believe it. It's like it's similar to like Colin Farrell for the Penguin, that
yeah.
it's Rumi Mara. every time I'm watching that movie, I'm like, that's not Rumi Mara. And then I just look at the
That
IMDb,
is
I'm like, it's
crazy.
Rumi Mara. I'm like, what?
Wait,
Was she
speaking
the
of
one what
Penguin,
happened
have you
to
watched that
Wednesday
yet?
or what happened to Monday? Is
No.
that the girl?
No, it's she's the one, she's the wife in, or the ex-wife in Her, and then she's the girlfriend in Social Network.
Oh, got it. But
Isn't
she's
that
not in what happened
crazy?
to Wednesday or what happened to Monday? Who's that? Isn't it Numi?
No, I'm not
She's
sure
in
who
the
she is.
original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, yeah. I remember her. But isn't she what happened to Wednesday or what happened to Monday?
Yeah, what happened to Monday?
Told you, Cameron.
Rumi Rapace, or however you pronounce her name.
Oh, but it's not Numi Mara.
No, it's
Numi.
Rumi Mara. It's Rumi Mara, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
So it's a
that's a
different
different name.
person. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
Numi Rape. But they had the same name. There's two girls with Numi. That can't be possible.
No,
Rumi.
it's Rumi Mara. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
one's Rumi, the other one's Numi.
It literally sounds made up.
What's Numi and
Mine's
Rumi?
Numi, mine's Rumi.
What's Numi and Rumi?
And then I also watched The
I don't
Intern.
believe it.
Um,
The intern,
yeah, it's Robert De Niro and
Anne Hathaway, was any
Anne
good?
Hathaway. Um, yeah, it was actually super heartwarming and like really cool, kind of showing how
Nice break from a girl with the dragon tattoo.
yeah. Um,
That's the
and
one where he like goes and fires people, or is that up in the air?
no,
Yeah, that's up in the air. Never mind.
this one is his wife passed away, and he's like a retired guy, and there's uh like a neighborhood intern situation where they hire essentially old folks just to kind of get like involved in the society and like the community. And so he's like working at this business as Anne Hathaway, who's like this fashion like CEO, kind of entrepreneur lady, and he's like her intern. And it's just really cool because like they just kind of like teach each other life lessons, which is cool because like obviously he has a whole life of experience, but then he also is just like super amazed and wowed by like her and her drive. But yeah, it's good and like heartwarming and a little sad, but overall good. And then I watched Primer with Jordan. Um, hurt my brain for the first like hour and 15 of the hour and 25 runtime.
Slimer.
And then the last 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I think I understand. And then, of course, we had to watch a YouTube video to explain it. And,
You're
and,
like,
Cameron had
oh,
to.
I
I
did
understood it.
understand.
and, and
Which is why he showed you his favorite YouTube video explaining it.
it's borderline. It was borderline a Memento situation where the video almost made me more confused, because it kept doing like,
Dude,
well, in this timeline, and
no,
now we
it's
created
when you
another
watch the
timeline,
videos
and I'm
explaining
like,
Tenet where I'm like, oh, I thought I understood it. Now you've opened this Pandora's box where I'm like, oh no, I definitely
I'm
don't.
like, stop, yeah, stop explaining it. That was what Primer was getting a little bit into that because it's like now he went back before he knew, and so this is him reverting back to his timeline before his timeline so that he can enter back. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But
I want to see this. Is it good though? You recommend it?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
honestly it like it's one of those. It kind of reminds me a little bit of it's like a worse
Coherence.
coherence. Yeah, it's just
Oh,
because
okay.
it's small budget and like
Yeah,
really kind of
yeah. Coherence had a
like
big
But
budget of like
but
two
better
grand.
than like time lapse. Is that the one where they
yeah.
take the photos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
to me,
That one's good.
the the way I would kind of compare it is it's literally just Project Almanac, except if they weren't high schoolers, if it was just like middle-aged men who just discovered time travel, and it's like, how can I use time travel? It's like I can make some money on stocks, and
Mm.
then and so it's just like it's just interesting because there's these like science nerds who are just they're essentially trying to figure out how to make this thing not affected by gravity, and they accidentally start making it not be affected by time. Um, and so then
Love
they're
it.
like, wait, what's going on? And so
What's it
and
called? What's it called?
Primer,
A
oh,
primer.
it's a lot of people like it's
I
like
literally almost said Slimer. I was like,
it,
what's it called? Slimer?
a lot of people it like claim it's like the most scientifically accurate. That's the hard part is like the first 25 minutes high is literally just mumbo jumbo. It's literally just
Oh,
like,
hang on a second.
oh, well,
No.
this and this. And
What?
I'm like,
What's that? What's that? Is it Aporia? What's that one?
Aporia.
Yeah, that one's a good one too.
Yeah, I need to watch that. You guys
That's a good
recommend
one. If you
watching that.
like time travel and the accuracy stuff of it, that one was a fun one where it had like these really interesting questions about like what it would do if you just continued about your day. You think anyway, I won't give anything away, but it's a
It
very
was good.
interesting one. Yeah, where
Yeah.
it kind of deals with those things where you're like, I wish they did talk about this in time travel movies. Like they're always like, yeah, you fix the thing or this happens, but it's like, what happens to your state of mind
Yeah.
if you're doing this? Because like you have a conscious, I am conscious. Every time I say that, you have a consciousness. I think of Jeffy. I am
I am
consciousness.
consciousness.
Um,
And consciousness.
I am Jeffy. Just thinking about like what that does to the psyche. So very interesting. I highly recommend that one if you're on a kick. I'll
Yeah.
watch uh
Primer.
Primer,
Primer. Yeah.
Slimer,
But
Primer,
you
Timer.
you just got to be prepared. Luckily, it is a
Yeah,
short run time. It's like really tight. It's like an hour 25 maybe.
yeah.
But it's it's just hard because it's so scientific in the beginning that they're talking about like, oh well, we need to increase the like centripetal force on this, and this is like rate, and I'm like,
Hey,
ah!
I love
Well,
centripetal
and
force.
unfortunately, some of the like relationship drama, they spend a lot of time talking. Like they have you miss the fight, and then all of a sudden they're arguing about the fight, and so you're like, oh, so what happened? Because then he's like, anyway, so it was like really
Yeah,
hard to follow the
and then
relationships.
it's confusing with like how it's cut to where they're like, oh, we're gonna go back and try to revisit that argument because then it's like even more. It's like,
Well,
wait, didn't
because
this
they
already
mention a lot of
happen?
names too, and it's like we've never met these people, or if we have, it was like for a
Yeah,
scene.
like 1 second where he mentions like what his wife's name is or mentions what like a boyfriend's name is. So like just
Yeah.
hard to remember everything in
So that
specific.
and the funny part is when we watched the explainer video, he's like, "I'm not going to even talk about the relationship stuff," and he just goes into the time travel stuff, and we're like, "The relationship was the most confusing part," but
Yeah.
he decided not to even talk about it, probably because it was so confusing.
Yeah, because I mean there were some implications too that I was like, this hurts my brain to even think
Yeah,
about.
that was
He's
weird.
like, you
Um,
guys all understand it, so I don't need to go explain it. It's like, no, for those that didn't catch it though, could you please go
yeah.
back and explain it? So moving on, you're like, wait.
And then I watched Striking Distance with Jordan, which was
Is
hilarious.
that John Claude or something?
No, that's
No,
Bruce
Bruce
Willis.
Willis.
And
Any good? Is it like
It's
one
the
of those?
same director of Roadhouse. Did you watch the original Roadhouse yet?
I still have not, dude. I'm sorry. That Jake
It's
Gyllenhaal
wild.
abomination really turned
Uh,
me off. I know. I
I
need to
told
realize that
you
they're
actually need
different.
to watch the first Roadhouse. It's actually so good.
it's
Um,
really good.
it's
Okay, I'll give
hilarious.
it a shot. I'm going through and
It's
It's
watching all kinds of
it's
movies right now on my list.
hilarious.
Yeah.
it
And
was
yeah,
Ty, it was your friend that recommended it. That's the reason I watched it, Bryce.
Oh yeah, no, it is right up his alley for sure. And I see a movie like that. I do want to see it, but again, like out of all these movies, I'm trying to catch up. You've watched my letterbox this week. I'm like trying to do better. I'm trying to
Yeah,
watch
Ty
movies.
finally watched what's it
City of
called?
God. Yeah.
City of God. That's what I'm
Oh,
talking about.
what'd you think?
well, we'll talk about that. Did you have any other
Okay.
movies, Cameron? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll go through quickly.
No rush, dude.
Um, so Striking Distance was just fun. It's just
Mm.
like it's literally just Bruce Willis action, and it's so funny to see him play. First off, he has so much hair, which I'm like, there's so much wrong with this. Um, and then a girl like is swooning him that's like younger than him, and I'm like, in what universe? And then it ends up that she was like undercover agent that like to narc on him, and I'm like,
Like
now
that
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 makes
checks out.
sense. I'm like that. At first, I thought it was a huge plot hole, but then it ends up she was like from internal affairs, and I'm like, okay, okay, I'm picking it up now. Um, and yeah, it was just fun. And then watched Paprika with Jordan. Yeah, I mean, it's totally inspired Christopher Nolan. I think that this director, because this is the same director that did Perfect Blue, this director clearly had a huge impact on Christopher Nolan's like kind of film, like experience and just knowledge with kind of the effects on Memento and Inception, and just really interesting because Paprika is talking about dreams and it's even like it's interesting because it's like attacking people's it's kind of similar to Perfect Blue where it's attacking people's consciousness while they're living and not even like you don't have to sit them in a chair like Inception. Literally, it's just like people can't tell the difference. And so people are like jumping off of buildings or running into the street because they think that they're in a dream. Insane. And the
Mm.
visuals are crazy, but there's a couple scenes that are like weird.
It reminds me a little bit of a Studio Ghibli one. This one a lot more than
Yeah,
Perfect Blue doesn't remind me
A
as
hundred
of a
percent.
Studio
Yeah.
Ghibli.
This one kind of feels almost like a My Neighbor Totoro, like with a dark twist kind of vibe.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
and then watched the
Is it
babysitter
is
with
it also done in anime? Is it anime though?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah. Um, like there's just like there's just interesting scenes and like some crazy visuals like with like I don't know. You have to see it to understand.
Yeah.
But and then I watched The Babysitter with Jordan and
Wait, which one is that? The cult one?
yeah, and
Dude,
the
that's a
beginning
good horror movie. I like that one, dude.
the beginning was like the kids bad acting was palpable. It was so funny. It was making me laugh so much. And Jordan was like, I can't remember why I like this movie.
But did
Not a
it
great
pick up?
rewatch.
It picks up though, right? No.
Yeah, the violence is pretty fun.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the like the jock guy is so funny.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. I
so
remember
sadistic,
laugh.
and
Yeah.
I just love where he's like, "No, you can do it." He's like, "Yeah, you know, go like stand up to him, show him who's boss." He's just like, it's like, and then he proceeds to chase after him after that. It almost reminded me a little bit. I wish they would have leaned a tad bit more into it because it felt like scary movie, but not knowing it's scary movie, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't like totally self-aware that it was so cheesy at times that I felt like I'm like, it's almost like
It
there
reminded
was
it reminds me a lot of Wanted. I don't think you've seen that one yet, Cameron, but
yeah, and kind of had some Final Destination deaths, which I thought were hilarious. Of just like people just like getting like falling, like when he falls down the stairs and then like like the award goes through his neck or whatever, like things like that. That I'm like, okay. Um, and then watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding because mom was like, "You've never seen that?"
I'm actually
Um,
surprised you haven't seen that, Cameron. Yeah. That
yeah,
yeah,
it's a classic.
it's a good one.
it's so fun.
Like like nothing amazing, but I mean, just like a super fun kind
You
of
didn't
rom.
ask me, can I please date your daughter?
No.
No.
Yeah,
That
just
pause, dude, is so good.
yeah, the dad is like Loki
Yeah,
steals the show.
he's so great. Put some
Um,
Windex on
yeah. And then the last two I watched was I watched The Benchwarmers because Allie had never seen it.
it. Oh my
And she was
God.
like, oh, she's like, I don't know if I'll be able to stay awake for the whole thing. She was laughing so much, and her favorite character was the brother who's like afraid of the sun. Every single time he was on screen, Allie was dying. Um,
Dude, I feel like I need to give that movie another shot. That is a movie I walked out of, dude.
really?
I did not find it funny in the theaters. Jordan, were you
Oh,
with me? Did you walk out of it?
Benchwarmers. Yeah, we walked out of it.
Was that because
What?
Cassie was with us? Like she,
Cassie didn't like the language or
yeah,
dirty jokes
Cassie's
or something.
some. Well, that one, and then the other one I walked out of was Wild Hogs. So it's
Wild
like two
Hogs.
raunchy comedies that I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, Wild
Cassie
Hogs
took
just
us.
straight up wasn't
You gotta
funny.
give
I
Ty,
just
you got to
didn't
give
want to
it
watch Benchwarmers
another
again.
chance because it's so dumb, but
Yeah.
it's honestly I would say
I
it's like
love
a
Spade. I
it,
love Heater and that and Rob
it's
Schneider.
literally
Like
just a
I'm just
B
saying.
version of Hot Rod. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's Hot Rod just not even close to as good, but just like a B version of that.
Yeah.
Cassie trying to keep us righteous.
I
And
do
then
remember some of the joke, like in the trailer, it had me go to the movie. So there was comedy. I remember they were
yeah.
like smashing mailboxes. That was making me laugh. Like he hits like a metal. It's like, ah,
Yeah.
like they don't smash a single
Yeah.
mailbox. Like
And
it's funny stuff.
I just love the idea that it's like these nerds like beating up on like bully kids where I'm like, you're still 30 years old picking on like a 12-year-old like little league kid. But
You know what I recently watched, Cameron? Is
what?
Benchwarmers 2.
I don't even know if I've actually ever seen that. Is
It's
that any good?
absolute rubbish, trash, garbage.
I
So
kind of
you
think
walked out of the first one and you thought maybe the sequel will be better.
have you ever seen have you ever finished the first one, Jordan?
Probably.
I know. See, I'm like, no, I know for a
That's
I
fact
don't
I have
crazy.
not
remember.
seen the movie. Like, I don't even know
And
how it
then
ends.
the last movie I watched was Bubble Boy because I gotta finish all of Jake's filmography.
What are you
And
at, dude? Like two movies left?
I have four sort of five. The problem is like two or three of the movies he's in for like 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm probably just gonna like skip to his scenes and then just watch those and then check it off the bucket list because it's
Dude, I can't wait
um
till you like meet Jake Gyllenhaal and you're like, I've seen all of your movies.
yeah, he's like,
He's
get
like,
away
get
from
away
me.
from me.
Yeah.
I wish
Um,
you would.
but yeah, Bubble Boy was just like one of those movies that I was like, what the? It literally felt like like a skit that never ended. And I said that in my review. I'm like, this literally just seems like someone who's like, I have a really clever idea for a skit. Like, what if there was a kid who always like his mom was so protective that he lived in a bubble? And they're like, let's make it an hour and 20-minute movie. And I'm like, did it need to be that long? But yeah, I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal obviously goes 110%. To me, I think because I think that was before Donnie Darko, right? Let me see.
Hmm.
Mm,
2001. I think that's the same year. No, is Donnie Darko 2000?
I think Donnie Darko is probably the four.
Donnie Darko's 2001. So when was Bubble Boy?
2001. Wow, what a crazy dual performance year. Donnie Darko, an all-time classic, and Bubble Boy. But then I'm just looking forward to watching Men because that's the one that I've like I was so excited for. That trailer is one of those movies that I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. And
Creepy
then
baby face, yeah.
yeah,
But it
and
was
then
done like intentionally to be upsetting, and I was like, that's not a bad use of the
yeah.
de-aging slash swapping faces and stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
and then
unsettling.
Jordan was like, "Yeah, it was just a bunch of giving birth in vaginas," and I was like, "All right." He was
I
like,
really the first half is solid because it's like a
Yep.
perfect build up for a horror movie. It's
Yeah.
just the second one is just like all interpretive stuff. So
"Is it kind of like a Us situation where like the
yeah,
first
Green
half
oh
is
Knight.
yeah,
super
that's a
good,
great
and
No, it
then
turns
it's
comparison.
into
like a
Green Knight,
switch where you're
dude.
like,
Turns into
Yeah,
maybe you
Green
should have
Knight.
just stuck with the original."
it's kind of like Green Knight and Us, where it's just like interpretive stuff.
Mm,
Which
okay.
if that's what you're into, like I don't know.
If you're into all that artsy
If you're into
fartsy
like giving
nonsense,
birth and stuff.
yeah, if you like babies,
I just got a feeling you're gonna love that first half. It's because it's
yeah.
that
I just can't
eerie
get that
build of
trailer out of my mind. Oh, oh. Dude, that thing is gives me chills. It gives
yeah,
me like chills.
A24. They all have those similar.
Amazing trailers, yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
But
Cameron,
yeah, that's
what a
everything.
roster. Yeah, great view. Jordan, what about you, man? What have you been watching?
I watched
Don't
all the
say
same
it.
stuff, so
Huh. I was gonna say it.
you can check out my
Don't
letterbox.
don't say it. No, there it is. He said it. He said the thing. Check out my letterbox. Put some Windex on it. It's Jordan's put some Windex on it. It's gonna be your catchphrase.
But Ty, you've been watching movies? I haven't been checking your letterbox. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you have been watching movies. I'm impressed, Ty. So you've got to tell
Uh,
us, Ty. Tell
yeah,
us.
dude. So it's funny. I can't remember. Did you guys say it was like Slumdog Millionaire,
And
or
whatever,
did
because
I
you were
say?
like, I already know what it's gonna be, and I'm like, Ty, just keep watching. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I definitely need to watch it again, but I remember watching it being like, oh, like I can get why like the movie was so alive. I don't know how else to describe it. Like the movie, like the camera work,
Yes.
it was
It,
so
it
crazy. Like I
honestly
just
it reminds me a lot of if you've seen the Korean one, what's it called? Taxi Driver.
I watched it. I don't remember that one feeling as bombastic, but
Th-
Well,
maybe but did
just
it have
because it's like the like
the
it almost like dystopian because that one city's like cut off from the rest of
yeah,
society. It
yeah,
almost feels like
mm,
surreal
for
that
sure.
it's like this is
but
what happens when people are like left to their like own like vices and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like they like you some 17-year-old running the city like is crazy.
it was wild.
his style, Ty, does remind me of Danny Boyle.
Yes, it's funny you say that because I was gonna say there was a lot of things I wanted to throw out because I didn't put it all in my review. Because like sometimes I'm like I do want to think about it before I even because what I want to start doing now on Letterboxd is like going back and leaving multiple reviews. Like just leave the thing that struck me the most because sometimes I might even go into like a rabbit hole and explaining something and then years later I'll be like, What was I even talking about?" Like it. So I try to leave them more vague in general because I also don't necessarily want to like I feel like our podcast is a better place to hash out the ideas because yeah, from the very first few seconds of watching it, I was like, oh, like it wasn't one, I went in pretty darn blind. I think the only thing I remember someone saying was that it was like Slumdog Millionaire. And I don't remember if you guys even said that. So I kept looking for that comparison, and I was like, "This is like the sad Slumdog Millionaire." I was like, "I'm just glad I don't live in freaking Gennaro, man. These people, like, holy
Bro,
crap!
and isn't
Like,
that scene with Little Zay when
oh
he's
my
just
gosh,
shooting? I'm like,
Psycho Kid. Yeah, I was like, dude, yeah." And it's like Cameron and Jordan love this character, like little Z or whatever his
He's
name is.
yeah.
terrifying.
So
No, he
scary.
is like Joe Pesci character in Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. Yeah, or just like
Just
such a messed
like
up,
every time he's on
twisted.
screen, you're like, oh no, like
Yeah,
he's just gonna start killing somebody,
dude,
or
he has
because
these scenes where yeah, he just like gets turned down by a girl, and he's
he's
like,
always trying to do a power trip, and
yeah, he
that's
just
just
like wipes his, he like rubs his beard or his mustache, and he's like, yeah, that doesn't sit well with me. I'm gonna have to kill someone now. You're like,
yeah.
but
here we
yeah,
go,
like
killing
just
again.
like again, I'm always bringing up to the very beginning because like it does the narration thing. It does, oh, before I explain this, it does the foreshadowing. Like before I can tell you this character, that comes back into play later. The callbacks, the
Which
story,
I like because to
the
me it
camera.
feels almost like one
Yeah.
of your buddies is telling you a story because it's like,
Yes, yes.
okay, and then
That's
I
so
ran
funny you
into this
say
guy,
that.
and it's
Yeah,
like,
like
wait, who's that guy?
yeah,
Okay, well,
yeah.
so we met
I'll get
him
to that in a
actually
minute.
3 weeks
Yeah,
ago at
yeah.
yeah, and so it just feels very like
That's
you said live, where it's like somebody's actually telling you a story.
yeah. And it's so crazy because like I could not be more far apart from like a world that people in the city of God have lived in and the slums of this part of the world. Um, and am I an idiot? This is in Brazil, right? Like they're speaking
Yeah,
Portuguese.
no,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Okay.
in Rio de Janeiro,
Yeah, I was just making
or as
sure
they say, Rio.
because I was like, I knew they were speaking Portuguese, like, because
Yeah.
being a fluent Spanish speaker, I could like pick up a lot of what they were saying, and the swear words is funny because I was like, some of them translate just like they do in Spanish, and they like you could
Yeah.
tell being a Latin-based language, like the sentence structure and everything. So that was actually really enjoyable because it felt like there was a lot of similarities to what I remember from my mission, but like I'm not saying like I in Chile it was anywhere near this impoverished and this crazy. I mean, like I must have heard like 2,000 shots go off in this movie. Like it
I
was
love they said not a
nuts.
single gun
And
reloaded.
not a single gun reloaded, my you read my review, yeah. It made me laugh. And it's not like, oh, that's not continuity because like in the end I'm like these are kids. Like it's insane. Like you if you have a pistol, a kid with a gun with 6 bullets in it is like one of the most low-key menacing thing. It's like Children of the Corn in a way where
No,
you're like everyone has a sickle and you're like all of them are gonna drive it into you or kill you.
the
And
worst
I'm
thing
like,
ever is when he hands the gun and they tell him they have to kill like one each other or whatever, the little kids, and they can't be more than
well,
what,
yeah, he gives so he tells the kids, "You want to be shot in the hand or the foot?" And then
but
they
yeah.
all both say the hand. They shoot them both in the foot. They're crying in pain. They get the new initiation for the gang member. And he's like, "You have to kill one of them." And it's like, what is happening? I was like, this is like the darkest, most bleak movie. And then like at the end, it's like, oh yeah, and like this is all a true story. And I was like, screw you, movie. That's so sad. Like you can't put me through this. And I'm like, now I'm recontextual. This is like one of those like at the end of the movie, it's revealed it didn't say at the beginning it was based on real events. It said at the very end. It's like, oh, by the way, like, and I'm like, if any part of this is true, because I'm like, who would make a movie this bleak and this dull or dull, this dark and this bleak? And I'm like, oh, holy crap, like somebody that lived through this and like
Well,
found a way.
even when I was in Argentina, the Argentines would even say Las favelas, like those are dangerous because Cassie
Yeah.
had pictures when she was there and they were like,
Oh,
"Oh, geez, is she okay?"
oh,
Because
where
the
is she? Yeah.
stories that came from there, you watch this movie and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, how did anybody live?
Dude, yeah.
Get out of there."
Yeah, it's like if you didn't cross the psycho killer or hide them, they'd just come back and kill you. And it's like you just have a bunch of kids, they'd steal your stores, you just had to keep your head down. Couldn't make too much money, but if you didn't make enough money, you couldn't bribe the cops. Like I don't even know how you make it like in this world. You can't. Like it's insane. You just join a gang and that's it. That's your best hope is that you don't get in their bad graces and
Well, that was like, is it Venezuela was getting like that bad? They had to like create a super jail and just throw all the criminals in it because it was
jeez,
getting
yeah.
so psycho.
Yeah, it's out of control. Yeah, so City of God was like an absolute roller coaster ride because like the movie was so crazy. One thing that kept bothering me is, dude, I swear that ginger was Timothy Chalamet, and I was like, it's not him. But I swear, if you go back and watch it, you're like, that is Timothy Chalamet. He looks just like him.
He does look like him.
It looks okay, good. I'm glad it's not just me. I literally was like, is that Timothy Chalamet? Like, there's no way. This movie's like a 2002. But and then I was like, it could be. Chalamet's like what, 30? I'm like, he could have been like 20 or 19 when he did this. But anyway, it's not him. But yeah, and then my other part of my review, I said it was like this film felt so alive due to the camera work and everything else and the music. Just considering how much death is in it, which is so crazy because there were so many characters. They foreshadow like a lot of sad and heartbreak, but like it didn't even hit me like until I was watching. I was like, there were classic story beats of like like I don't know, like the two friends, both Little Z, and then who was the peacemaker who goes off with the girl or he tries to. Spoiler if
Uh,
you haven't seen City of God, it's a
yeah, what's
2002 movie, but yeah, it's like, oh, and then what's his face that's bullied by Little Z,
I
and
think
then
the kid's name
he's
was
like,
like
no
Rocket,
innocent
right?
civilians get killed, and then like very soon he's like, there's three exceptions to the rule, and now there's no rule, and then he's then avenged. He's murdered by a little kid that's like, you killed my father in the bank that you robbed. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, like there's consequences to these actions, and sometimes it's so innocuous. It's like, oh, I didn't even think about this kid, and he came back and killed me. It's like, yeah, I guess it's just kill and be killed. It's so crazy. Kill or be
Yeah.
killed.
It'd be like asking him, like, do you know why I'm here? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, pick any number of people I killed. He
Yeah,
could
yeah.
have
It's
pissed
like,
off
oh yeah,
anybody.
like yeah, it's like, oh, it turned out I was the serial killer, or like I stole your money and then I killed you before you left with my money. Like, oh, we assumed he got away and we never heard from him again. It's like, nah,
Yeah,
dude, he
when
was
you
killed
create
that
that
day.
many enemies,
Oh my
man,
gosh, yeah. Yeah, it's just like the most
he's a ticking
cutthroat.
time bomb.
And what I think was so heartbreaking is like this movie is like just a whiplash of emotions. I'm almost like I couldn't even like mourn for any of the kids that have had to grow up in this play because it just like I said, I don't even think I'm the right person to have the empathy for it because like I almost can't comprehend what I watch. That's why I'm like I might have to watch this again, but I'm gonna have to watch it with other people and just be like, yeah, this is crazy, right? This is wild because like I watch it and I'm like to see such depravity and like at such a young age, I can't even like. And it's so
It,
weird because like no one's talking about their feelings. Like everyone just has to keep moving in life. Like the only thing they talk about is like how to get ahead. Hey, when we get older, we're gonna take their positions when they die off. Or hey, this job sucks. Let's kill the people above us so we can take their jobs. You're just like, yeah, I guess that's
Apparently,
one way to get a promotion. Like, my gosh, kill your
one of the
boss.
Dune books is literally City of God.
Yeah.
Jordan, is
Oh
this a
yeah.
cry for help?
No,
Wait,
this is he's just like Terrifier. Yeah.
Chrome
what the?
Skull laid to rest too.
Yeah.
Did you guys discuss City of God though? Because I'll shut up about it. Did you do a podcast on it or not?
No, you can keep talking about it. Yeah, we did. So
Oh, okay,
share
because
your
yeah, I
thoughts
didn't. I
because
missed that
you
episode because I
missed it.
didn't get around to watching it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, so
And
I
now
just
now you're realizing you're missing all these amazing foreign films like wait, is
well,
it?
and again, I actually didn't know it
Memoir
was
of a
foreign until I
Murderer.
Yeah.
Memoir of a Murderer. No, it's I like that one. I saw that one. I didn't see Bedeviled yet. I'm gonna see that one
Don't
because
watch it.
don't watch it. Is it not good or is it good? But
It's
Uh,
just it's
it's
like traumatizing. It's like
oh
same
my
level
God,
as I
dude,
saw
I
the
just watched
it
devil.
City
is
of
I Saw the
God.
Devil.
It's honestly I would say borderline more traumatizing than I saw the devil.
Let's go, dude.
Because at
Now
least
you're
at
just
least I
psyching me
saw
up.
the devil
Cameron,
like
I just watched The Mist this week as well, dude. You want to talk about an ending that is trying? You seen The Mist, Cameron?
yeah, when the
Holy
people
crap.
arrive like 30 seconds after they like kill each other or whatever. I'm like,
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I have to laugh to keep from like thinking about how tragic and
Oh
sad it
yeah.
is.
So one time I kept replaying that music and that end scene when he's crying, and I'm just crying in the shower. It's so good.
Jeez. Um, one thing I did want to mention, I realized when I was going back through my letterbox after I was leaving my review for Mission Possible. Did you guys get the same thing?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah.
come on, dude. Kudos to Letterbox and or Mission Impossible.
There was
Great.
another thing it does. What does it do, Cameron?
It
Remember?
it's
There's a
like,
lot of different ones like Gremlins.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you are on Letterbox past 12 o'clock, sometimes like a gremlin will pop up on your screen,
Are you
um,
serious?
which I hate because I hate gremlins.
Gremlins are
Um,
terrifying, dude. Yeah,
You can't
you
beat
uh,
him
saw that
after
way too
midnight.
young. Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then and then another thing that I've seen was like when I did my review for Fight Club, it said you broke the first rule of Fight Club.
That is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Letterbox is getting all meta on me, and I'm like, truly creators that love movie, and I'm a sucker for gimmicks. Like I'm like, yeah, because so this is the first time I've ever experienced anything that wasn't an advertisement on Letterbox that I thought was out of place, other than my movies and movie
You
posters.
still have ads, poor
Oh, I
person.
know. I forgot there's ads because my subscription's almost up, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't need to subscribe again. Then I'm like, oh, I
yeah,
forgot about
it's kind of
ads.
odd. But anyway, the thing that blew me away though, like, so I get
Because
just
they
for
bite all
viewers
your
that don't
posters,
have
Jordan.
Letterbox, after you leave a review for Mission Impossible, like a little message comes up and it's like, from the Mission Impossible headquarters, your phone will self-destruct and sequence overridden by Ethan Hunt, mission whatever accomplished or whatever. I was like, that's amazing. Like I get this like secret message and I was like, that was the first time I'd ever been interacted with on this app, and I just thought that was super cool. And I'm like, anyway, so that actually made me give the movie a higher star rating after I got that. But anyway,
When you review it twice, does it do it again?
Uh,
yeah, it did for me, but
uh,
I had to go. I'm trying to remember what I did. I ended up just reviewing it again. I didn't go back and edit it. I went and created a new review. I didn't know it was going to do it a second time, but I wrote a new review saying I just watched my phone do something I didn't expect, and then after I did it, it did it one more time, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Anytime you leave a review for the movie, it does it. But I'm sure if you go back and edit it, it wouldn't do it. But
You
anyway.
could just go back and edit your original ones, take
Yeah,
that
yeah, I usually do,
thing.
but I almost felt like a review for what I just experienced because like I just got done writing my thoughts for the movie and then I was like, oh, now I have more thoughts. Like rather than go back and edit it, I was like, anyway, so I added a second. Anyway, I don't really care. I'm not the best at Letterboxd, all right? And then I've watched Nate Bargatze. Do you guys watch the stand-up comedian?
Yeah, he's funny.
yeah, he's
He's
good.
he's so unbelievably funny and he's not even like necessarily even having to say like funny stuff. Like his cadence and the way he talks is
Yeah.
so unbelievably funny. Like
So,
he's one of those guys where you're like, oh, just like you're just a funny human being. I don't know why, like, because I could say the exact same things that he's saying and it's not funny. Like it's literally the way he's saying it and the way who he is and the way he talks. It's just so please watch it.
I
I
Yeah.
think
think
I think he's funny, but my wife just like she doesn't like him. I don't know
Oh,
why.
really?
Because she
I
watched him with the youth and none of the kids laughed, and so she was like I think it put a bad taste in her mouth.
That's too bad. Yeah, Nate Bargatze's great.
He is.
And then I watched all the Star Wars movies, dude.
I just like that
New
he's
Hope.
clean too. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, it's super cool too. Like his dad is like a circuit or what do you call it? A magician. So his dad would do like pre-open shows for him as like the first comic slash magic trick guy, and then he would go out and do a set. Like I don't know, just think it's kind of cool. And then his daughter always announces him, and he does his shows knowing full aware that his like 10, 12, 13-year-old daughter or whatever is like there in the crowd. So I'm like, but again, it doesn't feel like dry comedy or whatever, clean comedy. It just feels funny and like
Can you imagine him just start dropping F-bombs right in front of his kids and just
it's like my
getting
daughter's here in the crowd. Yeah.
talking about super dirty stuff?
Well, and I just think that it's really cool when you can hone your craft where it's like there is a lot of humor to be had because it's very easy to joke about that kind of stuff, in my opinion. I think it takes a lot more work to find a well-crafted joke, not simply reverting because it's like low-hanging fruit, in my opinion. So, coming from the guy that's the cleanest on the podcast, of course, I never take the low-hanging fruit. Um, so I watched all the Star Wars movies, dude. New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Come on, dude. Did I talk about this last podcast or
I
no?
don't remember.
Because Blink Twice was before it, so I don't think yeah, I think I did. So I did all the Star Wars with my kids, and that was an absolute treat. They loved them. Like after Empire Strikes Back, my daughter's like, that was one wild movie. Like, and to hear my 6-year-old turning 7 say that, I'm like, yeah, right. Like she's piecing together, like, oh my gosh, Luke's father was Vader. Like it was like the craziest thing to her because she too got caught up in the like his father's died, so she's gonna like have this great matchup, loses, and like my daughter literally does this thing where if movies get really stressful and tense, she goes, "Does this one have a happy ending?" She'll ask me that like halfway through the movie, or if like moments it's like, "Is this a movie with a good ending?" And I'm trying to think if I've traumatized my daughter with any movies that don't have happy endings. Like I'm pretty sure the movie like and we didn't watch The Mist together, like clearly. But like my daughter will ask, like, does this movie have a happy ending? Is this the one where the good guys win?
That's my wife. She has to know the ending so
Does
she
she?
doesn't
That's so
stress.
funny. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's like my daughter. She's just like, Is everything gonna be okay?" But yeah, dadgum. Like, so in my theater room, the surround sound, like listening to Lando blow up the Death Star and like Yeehaw cowboy thing, I was like, movies are back, baby. It was like movies are so back, dude. So like I got super excited.
They're
So
back in what is it, 19 something?
what?
Well, when did it come out?
Oh, the movie? Yeah, yeah, movies are back. It's like an 80s film.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Movies
Movies
are
are
back, baby.
back.
No, but
So I was
like it's
watching an
just like my
80s movie.
passion for him, I guess I should say. Because like Billy D. Williams, when he gives that yeehaw, I was like, I literally was like euphoric. I was like, we did it. I'm like sitting on my couch. We did it. I'm like watching all three Star Wars movies. So anyway, I had a blast with my kids. Those movies are so dang perfect. Except Return of the Jedi, man. I don't know what's going on in that movie, but
That's so funny. That was my favorite.
as a kid, probably like
No,
Maddie,
just
it was
recently I rewatched all three of them, and I'm like, I think I like the third one the best. The first one,
no.
it's like I've seen it too many times. I just
No, so it's funny you say that. I think New Hope is my favorite. I actually used to think Empire Strikes Back is so good. After watching it, I was like, there's a lot I like about it, but I think New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie
that's
ever.
crazy. I've gone backwards. I like three, two, one.
That is wild. Go back and oh man,
I did.
one
I
is so
just
good.
rewatched them. I just.
Dude, when Luke like is sad because he can't go play with his friends, he's looking out at the two moons on Tatooine. I'm like, I feel you, kid. I used to be that same kid, same haircut. Just like I wish I could go play with my friends, man.
Yeah, he
This
connects with
sucks.
whiny little Luke.
Yeah. I was going to Tashi Station to pick up power converters. So good, dude. Come on. Anyway,
They've
Star
been
Wars, man.
clipped.
See,
Oh,
and it's so,
sorry, wrong show.
but no,
Clone
like,
Wars.
yeah, like my kids are more entertained by these movies than they were like by Wicked, which to argue is like, it was it specifically geared toward kids? Maybe not, but like, there was music, there's dancing numbers, really impressive. But like, they got bored in that. They watched Star Wars with their mouths hung open. I'll just say that. And I'm like, maybe Star Wars is geared toward kids more, but I'm like, still has very mature themes, some dark moments. Like there's a scene where Luke has to face his father, but it's himself on Dagobah, and he like cuts off his head, and it's himself, and you're like, what the freak is going on, Dad? I'm like, I don't really know, but oh, it's foreboding, and it's he's facing himself, and I don't know. I'm like, I still don't get it, but just watch the movie and stop asking questions. But anyway, yeah, I just it's just unreal watching movies like the lasers going off, the spaceships flying. Like my kids are just there's something really special about watching movies with kids because it feels like after you get too old, you Christmas morning, you're like, I'm not excited to open presents. If I want to buy myself something, I'll do it. Like, but like my kids, they get up in the morning at like 4 a.m. and they're like euphoric and they're screaming about, Dad, look at the present. Like, they're so excited. It's very contagious. So to watch my kids enjoy it, like, actually made me feel like I have a soul. So that was something else. Brought me back, man. Brought me back. So yeah, life is good. Movies are good. Guys, I love you, man. Thank you guys for coming on this podcast and movies real quick that I'm looking forward to. Big Beautiful Road, I think it was called. Big Beautiful Journey or something like that. It's got Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. I know Cameron's excited about that, but I'm like, Colin Farrell, he's such a handsome man. I'm excited about that. But it looks like about time partially because they're going back in different sections of their lives and kind of I don't know, it just looked really sweet.
Interesting. Also, what's it called? Celine Song, the lady who did Past Lives, is coming out with a new movie with Chris Evans, Dakota Johnson, and Pedro Pascal.
Which one's that one?
Let me look up the name.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
off
the
the
other one you
Pedro
mentioned to
train.
Jordan, it was who is it? It's Leonardo DiCaprio and who was it? Was it one of the Coen brothers or
No, no, no. The guy who made it is Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson?
I'm excited.
Yeah, but I don't know. The subject material, I'm like, it looks all right.
I mean, have you seen all his films yet? They're all good.
I didn't like Boogie Nights, and maybe that's just me.
Oh, but
There
it
are
still has
parts of it
some
I like.
really
There was
amazing
parts of it I
parts.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Marky Mark. Come on, dude, he's great. I liked Burt Reynolds. I thought he was fine. I liked his character. I love William H. Macy. It's amazing. But yeah, overall, the movie is not like my favorite. I, of course, think that
You still need to watch
There Will Be Blood
the,
is like one of the best.
yeah, There Will
Licorice
Be
Pizza was
Blood.
fine though. Like, and I don't know. I have this thing where it's like.
it-
Wasn't it great like back in the 70s when people were selling water beds and like you were just a kid trying to make money? I'm like,
and people
yeah, I
hitting on
guess like
underage people. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's
No.
yeah,
Oh, you guys talking about a lick pizza?
licorice
yeah.
pizza, yeah.
Yeah, that movie
We're talking about Paul
sucks.
Thomas Anderson. Yeah,
I mean, but it was well made and like
or
stuff.
as Jordan likes to
Anyways,
call him, Wes,
I
Paul
don't
Thomas Wes Anderson.
Thomas
Tom,
Wes Anderson.
Thomas S. Wentz Anderson. No,
Thomas
but
S. Wes Anderson.
I'm thinking of the other one you need to watch, Ty, is the one with the same guy, There Will Be Blood. I can't remember his name. Daniel Day-Lewis.
But Daniel Lewis. What about it?
He's
There's
in
a
another movie with that's
Paul
really
Thomas
good
Anderson.
with Paul Thomas Anderson. I can't
Oh, the
remember the
Is it the
point.
Phantom Thread
Phantom
or
Thread.
Phantom Thread. Yeah.
I do want to see that. It's on my list. I
So
just
good. I've seen it
is it good?
twice. I watched it with my
You
wife, dude. Watch it with her wife.
it's a good movie then,
It's
no?
about relationships. Your wife will be like, "Oh, I thought our relationships were struggling. Not anymore."
Well,
No, it
anytime
actually
anything
just
good
made me
marriage is
so
on the
grateful for
rocks,
my
throw on
wife.
Phantom Thread.
No, it made me so grateful for my wife because I'm like, holy crap, this chick is nutso. Not as nutso as Daniel Day-Lewis. He's a freak.
Dude, the guy's crazy, both in real life and in his movies.
Yeah.
I always laugh when they're like Daniel Day-Lewis breaking character for a moment, and it's like he smiled in character. And you're like, I guess he's laughing that people are not in the moment, but he's still very much in character. I don't know why it makes me laugh when like I get these movies across my
But I
feed.
wonder if he's kind of like this character because I'm like,
I know,
dude's
right? Like, who is the real Daniel? And maybe that's like to his credit because we know so little about his personal life. It's like he might just be like real life, what do you call it, Johnny Depp, where it's like, oh, he is just a dweeb and he's playing a pirate and like
no,
at the
he's
same
friends with
time,
Adam Sandler, so he's got to be down to earth.
really? Wait,
Yeah.
what? He's what? He's
He's friends with Adam Sandler.
stop. Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis and Adam Sandler hanging out. He's like,
Ye-
get it, goo goo gang, and he's like, very, very funny. You're a very funny guy, Adam Sandler. I like that very much. You're a very funny
I
person.
drank your milkshake. Just like puts his hand right on Adam Sandler's face.
I drink it up. Dude, I don't think there'll
Drink
be a
it up.
movie like There Will Be Blood that just goes for
I
it,
know
man.
it's sad. You're gonna have to re-review that one because I'm really sad you lost your audio.
Well, we still released the, or I lost it. I think it might,
Yeah, I just cut you from the episode and I released it
was I not in it
anyways.
or was it
No,
not?
because you lost your audio.
I thought it was our guest that lost audio or
No,
you.
you did.
That's hilarious.
There was like 3 episodes in a row where your audio was just starting to freak out.
Crap out on me.
Yeah.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Well, like I said, dear viewers, leave us an email at futureofmovies@gmail.com. Um, leave us a comment, like our videos, share them if you like, and tell us movies you'd like us to review. But we already got the roster for the next few weeks, 28 days, 28 weeks, and 28
So don't
years.
bother.
So don't bother for the next 3 weeks because we got it all for you here. So looking forward to it. Listeners, we love you. Cameron Jordan, anything else?
It's Ty's pod now.
Signing
Peace.
out. Yeah. This is my, I'm doing all the work, Cameron. Don't you understand how much work I goes
I
into
drink your milkshake,
I
boy.
drink your looks from across the room. Dude, we need to like do impressions one of these days. Like, okay, so we're coming up on 350 episodes. I was just thinking we always do a top 10. Real quick, I need to get some ideas. What is the next list of top 10?
Well,
Like,
let's discuss that because that'll take discussion. So
uh, uh,
let's
I'm
wrap it up.
sorry. It's going to be part of the podcast. I'm
Okay,
curious.
fine.
Listeners are already tuned out if they made it this far. They're not hanging up now. They want to hear us talk. Ideas, because I almost thought let's do top 10 actresses, and then I laughed because I was like, I don't even think I can name 10 women. Like, um,
Crazy. We could do uh top 10 heroes or top 10 like villains or I just
I
recently
feel like
did
all our
or
lists would be the same, though,
or
right?
performances. We
yeah.
could do that. I just recently
Except Cameron has some on his list that he's high.
Part of me
I
was like,
just
yeah, like,
created so
should we
many different
do?
lists. I created a top 10 superhero list, top 10 supervillain list, top 10 hero list, top 10 villain list, and top 25 performances. And
Dude, I'm gonna start doing the top one horror movies, action movie. I want to start doing
I already
that
did horror
'cause
movies, yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I want to do my top one horror movie.
Because
I think top
Cameron, you're
10
missing
horror movies
out.
could be kind of fun, but I don't know, top 10 something. Or we should just do like an episode each week where we just talk about like top 10 horror, top 10 in case we didn't want to do a movie. I thought that might be fun, but change up the format for a few weeks. But
I
sorry, dear
definitely want
listener.
to do childhood trauma.
Oh, yes. That was one of the ideas I talked to you
Because
about,
Cameron
right?
gets really funny when he talks about all of the movies that
Yeah, no, so we
we
thought,
forced him to
so yeah,
watch.
this was an idea that I floated to Jordan a long time
Matilda,
ago.
Jurassic Park,
No, but like Secret of Nim, what's the other kid movies that are so
Leaky Cauldron,
the Black Cauldron, yeah,
My
the leaky,
Cauldron,
the
yeah.
leaky cauldron.
No, Finding Nemo.
No, that's Little Nemo, Jordan, not
Little
Finding
Nemo.
Nemo.
I always forget that.
It's like Nemo is like
All right,
Jordan's like making fun of
I
like
need
Nemo
late
with his
night
gimpy
snack.
fin.
Love you guys.
Oh, okay, hey,
I'm down for Tahoe drama.
all right, we'll fine tune it and we'll
Yes.
talk about it later. Thanks everybody for listening. Take it easy.
Love you.
Peace.
Uh,
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.